Ooh, it's hot. Hey, we're live. Sorry, just got my lemon and honey. Hot one, not the sparkling Waimonica stuff. Tonight. Shout out Rubber Kiwi. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate you joining channel supporter. Very much appreciate it. Thank you. Where are we? Still got some time? Yeah, got a couple of minutes. Hopefully everybody's day has been good. If there are people on here. Bit of this, bit of that tonight. I connect. A whole bunch of stuff's been sent through. I was just filtering through and having a look at some of the stuff from the weekend and last week, and then today. There's a never-ending pool of things that have been sent through. Reaction stuff. Thank you. Shout out to those as well. I'm not sure if they'll be on this live tonight, but those requests that have come through, paid requests for some videos from military context. So I will get to those now that we've had the worked out where and when, and thank you for the flexibility too that you've afforded me to be able to do those reactions and then get them up without the added pressure of the 24 hours or 36, 48 hours and blink in 72 hours. So yeah, very much appreciated. Thank you for that. Now I reckon I might as well start now. 7:29. So shout out Rubber Kiwi Talk 5018. Sheesh. Kia ora, Joe. 2 minutes early, my bro. Are you okay? Well, I was actually going to jump on at 7. Just because surprisingly I had everything sorted. Rubber Kiwi, evening to you too, bro. Anyway, let's jump in. What have I got? First up, I'm going to share the screen on Blinken, our YouTube post. The YouTube posts. Where are we? Is it that one? Yeah, that's the one. YouTube posts from the what do you call it? Let me move this over here so I can see if anything pops up. From the channel, the votes are in, a whopping 45 votes. And we the people, I think that was Dan Kidd. Shout out Dan. Not sure if you're on here or if you come across this later. I think this was his. I think Win the Future, I think that was you, Rubber Kiwi, I think. I can't remember who said Old New Zealand Party. Tired of the new New Zealand we live in, 16%, and New New Zealand, 24%. So that's where we went. What was this? Should New Zealand police wear or use body-worn cameras while on duty? 87%. Yes. 5% no. Ooh, that was a bit strong. We had some big, chunky, hearty lemons. I put a whole lemon into this and then added some honey, the raw honey that we got in the bucket. But I just felt the kick from that honey. Sorry, from the lemon. And 7% don't care. What do we got here? Oh, that was alive. Oh, was that it? Oh, sorry. No, that was, so for this one was 148 votes. That's surprising. I thought it'd be more like this one here, 45 votes, but 148 votes, 87% reckon yes, police should wear body-worn cameras. And then this one, people might have seen this. I received this in my email from Poem Usart. Whatever, I'm not sure if there's supposed to be one word or what. But anyway, made me laugh. Comedy and entertainment piece around there. For a comedy and entertainment channel like yours, they left out the educational. Lincoln Heck, come on, man. What else is in there? Oh yeah, and then that was just the stuff. So they've got my email, the email that I blocked out. I don't know why I blocked it out. I could have just left it. It's the same email that I have on my YouTube channel anyway. If people go into the about and have a look, but the invitation ID was a unique one. I haven't clicked on this. I haven't looked to go. I did click on the, not the login and build a store. What was the previous one? Yeah, I clicked on the view a live store. Had a look at the stuff in that on there. Looked interesting. Looked like stuff you find on Temu. Oh, so that's that. I think that was it. That's it for the post anyway. Can stop doing that. What else did we have? What was after the post? Oh yeah, Josh Jacobson. So let's share that page. This guy, ex-Kiwi SAS. Bum, bum, bum. People have spoken about it. I'm not sure whether it was Rubber Kiwi or Talk 5018, but one of yous or somebody, apologies if it wasn't either of yous, told me about this guy. I don't know him. I've never had the privilege of meeting him, but he is Josh Jacobson, NG. I say it should be. He's been awarded the Medal of Gallantry. Can't remember how long ago it was. But this guy's blanking brainy fella. So North Shore Greens Party, I had a little bit of a read. I actually did try to have a look to see if there was a contact for this fella anywhere, just to hit him up. But then I figured he's probably going to be pretty busy with regards to election times and that sort of stuff anyway. And he's probably going to be focusing his time on that. But he's got here this little write-up because it's got the rest of the party members down there, which I won't worry about going into. Josh Jacobson, ex-Kiwi NZSAS. I'm dedicated to creating an Aotearoa that is more just, inclusive, it's interesting, and socially connected through advancing green kaupapa. So he's definitely got, like him joining here and just reading that, I've definitely got some questions I'd like to speak with him about and ask and get his point of view. Oh, sorry. What have I got here? Oh, I sent that through, Joe. Oh, cheers. My soap. Sorry, bro. I got that completely wrong. It was not Rubber Kiwi or Talk. Thank you, My Soap 23. The Tamihana, interested in your view on Josh. Yeah, so I'm just looking to give that now, just based on what this little piece here. I haven't gone and done a big deep dive on Josh Jacobson, but sounds like he's, and I haven't asked around any of the boys or the guys that are still in the unit. I've still got some friends and stuff in there at the moment. I haven't contacted them to ask them, guys that would have been there before, guys from, I guess you'd say, my vintage that are still there, and some other guys that are kind enough to follow me on some of my other socials. I haven't reached out to any of them to ask what he's like. I would assume he's a good man, and I haven't heard anything bad about him from like the military side of things. But I definitely got some questions for him, or I'd love to have a chat with him at some stage. Born in Whakatane and raised in Papua New Guinea. Wow. Probably speaks Pidgin as well, based on the other stuff that he's got here. I went to high school in Dunedin and have since lived and worked around the world. I served in the New Zealand Navy and Army, as well as in the United Nations in Palestine. You know what I like about this? He's kept it real low key. In my opinion, this party. I served in the New Zealand Navy and Army. Could have said I served in the New Zealand. He could have said I served in the New Zealand Navy prior to joining the New Zealand Special Air Service Regiment. You know, that like, but he doesn't need to. Doesn't need to. It's easy enough for people to do a search and then they'll be hit in the face when they see him and then read in their ex-NZSAS operator. So as well as in the United Nations in Palestine. Wow. Worked for the United Nations as well as in the United Nations in Palestine, Jordan and Lebanon, learning French, Spanish, and Arabic during my travels. I wonder if he speaks Pidgin as well, Tok Pisin, or if he just considers that as his native English. French, Spanish, and Arabic during his travels, and Te Reo Māori on his return. Fella probably speaks more and better Te Reo Māori than me. Excuse me. I bring the experience and outlook of someone who has seen Aotearoa, from afar and is committed to protecting and enhancing the unique social, cultural, and environmental aspects of our home. Chair. I did scroll down to see if there was any more, but that was it on there. But that's him there. Josh Jacobson, Greens Party. But yeah, I'd love to pick his brain one day and have a chat with him, and then just get his thoughts on a few things, on like a whole bunch of stuff with all the immigration stuff, the blink, and the parties in general. I'd love to know how he came to the decision. What was the deciding factor for him to go, yep, I'm going in with the Greens? Oh, it's my son. It's my son that's on basic training at the moment. I'm going to take this. Hey, son. How are you? All good? You Hey? Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Oh, that's good. Left? You got 5-6 minutes left? I'm all good, son. I'm actually just doing a live, so I haven't mentioned your name, but I said, oh, that's my son calling. I'm going to take it. But no, all good. It's down there. You've only got 5 minutes anyway. Are you freezing in Waiuru yet, or what's the story? You got some you got some warm weathers on. Got your smock? Yep. Okay. You heated what up? Oh yeah. Oh nice. You haven't surely, knowing you've balled it up and started snowball fights by now, haven't you? Too busy. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. You're too busy, and otherwise you'll give you a punishment. Who's your section commander? Corporal G. All right, Corporal G, 1st Battalion guy. I'm dropping his name here during the middle of the live. If he ever sees this, he's probably going to give you extra punishments. That's cool. What about how many in your section? Only 3 of you. What? You're on LDs? Thank goodness. All right, good. Don't you bloody go on LDs? Oh, that's cool. And so, how many platoons are there on basic? Is this a big basic? Are there 2 platoons? But you're Hinton, eh? Hinton platoon. Isn't that aren't you named after? Isn't that how the platoons are named these days? Mm. Nice. Hinton VC. Yep. That's it. All right. Well, what are you going to do after this? Oh, sorry. Sounds good. Yep. Make sure you get all your stuff ready, mate. I don't want to be hearing just getting charged all the time. Not you. Good to hear. Good to hear, son. Remember, otherwise, if they ask, then you just say you're private too, Aliki. All right, son. Look after yourself, eh? Love you too. Yeah. See ya. See ya. All right. Well, people have probably left the live, and after that, they're going, that fella's not even doing his live. Where are we? Sorry. Yep. No need to blow his own trumpet. That's from Dan. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Comes across humble. Nice. Yeah. That's the take that I get when I read that little piece there. Jason, the UN is almost enough to corrupt the strongest of minds. Green ops plant. What's this, Rubber Kiwi? Still on the card phones. Yeah, they get very different these days. They get to use their, well, they don't, if you're talking about basic, they don't get to have them the whole time. They just get to make a call every now and then, from what I've discovered. Still on the card. Talk Gangster Joe, is this your 3rd one in the military? Yep, this is the third son in there. He's the oldest out of the boys, but he's the last one to get in, because he was trying to get in to the ADF, but they'd been taking so long, like well over a year. So when he came back here for Christmas and New Year's holidays, I said, son, if that's what you want to do, he's like, yeah. I said, well, just they can apply here, and if you still want to go to Australia. I was like, there's no guarantee you'll get into the army here in NZ. So I said, but you can keep yourself busy and apply. So we did, started working, doing a whole bunch of labouring jobs. And then everything just flowed on, one thing after the next. When did he start his application? Pretty sure he started his application, I want to say maybe around January something this year. And yeah, now he's on basic training now. So his two younger brothers are senior to him. Sadi, hey Matty, how are you, mate? Go hard, young Horton. Love your work, bro. Cheering you on. Christian Maber, getting a call from your son trumps everything. I remember him doing about 3 hours of burpees with you. Yeah, when those videos are up, hey, while you had COVID. Good on him. Yeah, that's right. That's the one. Robert Kiwi, what was he telling you about the training staff being weaklings and he could take them all on? No, not at all. That's that's definitely not his personality. He'll do as he's told. He's got a very low key, chilled out, laid back personality, that one. But it was good to get a call from him. Talk, Jan, shucks, that was fast, bro. Yeah, super fast for his from when he did his application, started all the processing. He had multiple video interviews, had medicals he had to do, had to go in for face-to-face and the psychological assessments and aptitude testing, and there was a lot of stuff, a lot of working parts in comparison to what I had when I went through, which is probably lucky for me. Kane, Matt, congratulations to your son. All the best. Thanks for that, bro. All right, I can stop sharing this. So Josh Jacobson seems like I just read out there, seems like a very humble man, which I'm not surprised by that, to be honest. But I'd love to have a chat with him. Yeah, at some point, hopefully our paths will cross, and I might have the privilege of sitting down, having a chat with him, or doing a walk and talk with him. Actually, is what I would prefer. But whatever fits into his schedule, and at some point in the future, I would gladly sort of look to make myself available if that opportunity presents. But anyway, let's stop sharing that. Oh heck! And then you got blasted with my blinking mug coming back on there. Where are we? I saw this. Made me think about immigration. Is it that one? Yeah, that's on here. Caroline Levitt. After 35 years, Somalia's TPS is terminated. 81% of Somali immigrant households in Minnesota are welfare. 81% of Somali immigrant households in Minnesota Timberwolves, are welfare. A drain on American taxpayers. Time to return home and make Somalia great again. I like the picture of Donald Trump's finger there. After 35 long years, a judge's rule has determined that the temporary protected status, TPS, for Somalia has finally been terminated. So it only took 35 years. What was supposed to be a short-term humanitarian measure became a permanent fixture that undermined our immigration system. Shockingly, 81% of Somali immigrant households in Minnesota are on welfare, creating an unsustainable drain on American taxpayers who work hard every day to support their own families. The message is clear: return home and focus on building a better future in Somalia. It's time to prioritize American citizens and make America great again by ending these failed policies. I like that. I think that's a good call. Some other countries could take a leaf out of that book and learn something, I reckon, from what they are doing over there. What's next? What have I got on here? Oh, something a little bit more lighthearted, eh? Let's get rid of that. Let's go there. Does it need to be full screen? Yeah, we'll make it full screen. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, is it that one? Sorry. Yeah, there we go. The footy show. I'm going to play this. Hopefully the audio comes through. Only the small part of it, the first little bit. It's to do with the try celebrations.
Try scoring celebrations. Now, back when I would score tries, it was like a bit of a handshake. or maybe like, yeah, well done, great, or maybe a bit of a tap on the ass, or you know, and they got to a bit of a kiss on the cheek or high fives, all that stuff. But I'm not sure where this one sits here. Now, watch Kalyn Ponga here. He goes over the top here. Look, it's a great try celebration. I don't know if you want to try this one at home. It's a second effort here. Then what's the second effort?
I'll pause that. That was the part that that got me when I had a look. I from time to time will go and have a watch. I haven't seen all of that one yet, so I'll watch it a bit later on. But that try celebration is suspect, questionable. Kalyn Ponga, come on, bro. Oh, come on, man. What are you up to? Anyway, I'm sure he will regret that try scoring celebration that his mate scored. And I'm sure his mate will say to him, don't you ever truck and celebrate on top of me like that again when I score a try. I'm sure all of his friends will be saying and looking to hold him back next time. Don't you blink and jump on top of me next time I score a try. I don't want any more of that bloody horrendous try celebrations, celebratory experiences. Yeah, but that put a smile on my face when I saw that. I was like, what the truck's going on there? ACT, I'm going to get to that one. What's this? Congratulations. Bro, I thought he was having a seizure. Bro, I reckon the try scorer probably going to have a seizure after he sees that bloody replay. Anyway, where's the other video? Oh, this ACT video. Interested to see and hear what people think about this. I actually did a recording, so I've already seen it. It's only about 3 minutes 20 seconds. I've already done a reaction to it because it was a video request that came through. It's fair warning right now. It's a 3 minute 22 second long, but my reaction goes for about 30 minutes, or the video in its entirety. So clearly I had a fair bit to say. So I'm interested to see and or hear if anybody else has anything to say on this particular video that I'm about to share with you right now. Goodbye, everyone. Let's share that. Play.
Well, Erica Stanford's decision to finally speak about the leadership challenge overshadowed a busy Sunday of policy announcements from ACT and the Opportunity Party. Opportunity held a public rally in Auckland, while ACT was back raising an issue it has long promised to address. Carlos Norton explains.
One law for all.
Hopefully the audio is coming through. Actually, I keep going to look at the big screen, forgetting that the camera's here. Hopefully the audio is coming through. I'll let it play right through from now on to the end. Hopefully the audio is coming through. Nobody's saying it isn't. And then, yeah, and then I'll share my thoughts, and then we'll see what other people might have to say.
ACT campaigning on an issue close to its heart.
It's not a matter of when your ancestors got here, but what you have to offer to your fellow New Zealanders today that really matters.
Announcing an election policy taking aim at what David Seymour calls race-based hiring by reforming public service legislation.
The public service does not need its own parallel regime that enables and empowers some of this discriminatory hiring.
Discriminatory hiring in the form of greater consideration for Māori and honouring Te Tiriti. ACT's policy sets out 5 key changes to the way government operates.
Bloody Maoris.
Including repealing Section 73 of the Public Service Act, which sets out the principles of being a good employer. Amending the Act to ensure services are delivered according to need rather than race. Separating cultural practices, including karakia, from public work, and removing the need to understand Te Tiriti, and eventually overhauling the Public Service Act altogether. But the Public Service Association says ACT's latest blow won't be their last.
This policy is racist and divisive. ACT will only be happy once they've removed the last remaining rights that working people have and the very elements which make our public service effective and representative of New Zealand.
Seymour sees it differently.
No, the current laws remove that. We are a country of people from many different backgrounds, and yet the public service legislation requires one culture and one background to be put ahead of all others.
And while ACT wants to clean up the public service, the Opportunity Party has set its sights on something even bigger: cleaning up politics itself.
1, 2, 3. I think New Zealanders are feeling an increased sense of distrust in politicians and our political system.
Kulei Wong announcing policies aimed at capping political donations at $30,000 and establishing a political anti-corruption body.
At the moment, we've got parties that can spend significantly more on billboards, on social media advertising, so it's really hard for small parties to get any cut through.
Opportunity seemingly paving the way for future minor parties. And the response from supporters is clear. But the party's promises to clean up politics is already attracting some dirty laundry.
It's getting harder and harder to take these guys seriously.
Bloody hippies.
They've had many $100,000, $200,000 donations themselves. So they're saying, don't look at those ones. We'll change the law in the future.
And Seymour says that makes Opportunity look a lot less different from the parties it's criticising.
The Opportunity Party tell us they're new and different, but they're starting to look more and more like all the worst things that they say they're against.
Two parties promising to clean things up, just with very different ideas about what needs cleaning.
Crack up, eh? Some funny stuff in there. What are your fellas' thoughts? What's this? Jason, Australia Victoria could lose 85% of machete/knife crime and about 45% of aggravated home invasion with a policy like that. Imagine that. Wouldn't that be a good thing? Hey, instead of people whinging and moaning saying that that's racist. Oh, actually, I've got some other videos in there too, which I think I've got to show. 6B, goodbye, everyone. Yeah, bro. Lima Charlie, audio comms good. Thank yous. Wong is white. How come? Yeah, it doesn't matter. How come two Chinese people can't make a white baby? Stop sharing that. Mark Malbray, billionaire, owner of Zuru Toys, just donated $250K to National. Even if I agreed with all their policies, I'd never vote for people that dance like that in public. Opportunity Party. Any anti-grain progression, slammed them away from Poeticus. Lots in there. I thought anyway. Clearly, by the fact that I've yapped on for about 30 minutes when I've already done a reaction video to this. Can't remember when it's scheduled to go up. I couldn't care less for this Employment Act. Why is my shopping expensive? That's what I care about. Oh, sorry, Christian, missed yours. Here's an example of race-based policy. My cousin is married to an Aboriginal. They have 7 children. All those children went to Guildford Grammar, a $30K a year school for free. That's $1 million plus. Holy heck. Damn. That's crazy, eh? Cheers for sharing that, Christian. Race-based policy. Yeah, we need to get rid of that, eh? I mean, that seems like a no-brainer. Employ the best people for the job. Employ the person who's most competent, most skilled, got the most expertise. Blinken has got the track record to show that they've been able to do that job, and or at least out of the candidates shows the most potential to be able to pick this job up sooner rather than later. Bring back trial periods, I say. Whatever they were called. What were they? It wasn't called trial periods. Blinken, whatever it's called. Bring those back in. And whereby the employer, to protect the employer as well, has the opportunity to go, yeah, nah, sorry, you're not actually any good at this job, so we need to let you go. and we don't need to put up with you putting in a PG against us because of the fact that you can't do the job. It sort of reminds me of like sports, isn't it? The Springboks that used to have, or maybe they still have, I think it's used to have, don't quote me on that though, used to have a quota system. They had to have a certain number of black players in a team. I'm sure that's what I heard before. I don't know if that's still the case now, but to me, that just sounds ridiculous. All well and good if they're blinking awesome and they're well up to scratch and they're playing for the box and all that sort of thing and they've earned their place, cool. But not if there's better players, is what I mean. Imagine if the SAS, say the Australian SAS, had to have a quota of Indigenous people as part of the unit for the unit to function. That's just trucking ridiculous. It's a question that I used to get asked a fair bit. How many Indigenous, actually a few Kiwis used to ask me, were there many other Māoris or any other islanders over there in the regiment in Australia? And I said, oh, there were a handful, not many from what I could tell. But then the other one that I would get asked from Australians in Australia was, were there many Aboriginals, Indigenous Aboriginals? And so for me, my take and my perspective of an Indigenous Aboriginal, no racism intended, was like they're black fellas. I spent a bit of time with some of the Aboriginals and stuff over there and on various courses and things like that. And then in the mining and construction industry, when I had some time traveling around different places there and heading to Darwin and all sorts of other places in and around the Pilbara and that, and good people. But my visual impression or perspective of Indigenous Aboriginal people when I've been asked that question was visualizing the type of Aboriginal Indigenous people that we see. The black people, they've got very distinct features like Māori, like Tongan, like Samoan, etc., etc. And my answer was no, I didn't recall seeing any of them. Then they said, oh, but did any of the guys have Indigenous Aboriginal heritage? And I was like, bro, truck if I know. We're not sitting around going, I'm not sitting around going, bro, you got any Indigenous Aboriginal in your heritage? Like, that's just not part of the conversation. We're too busy doing the work. And if we are sitting around, we're looking at it or preparing for what we're going to do next, not worrying about if he's Anglo-Saxon and blank and he's Irish and he's a blinking Islander and this, that, and the other. It's just like, what was the comment on here? I'm worried about how, not worried about, couldn't care less. It's talking about shopping talk. I couldn't care less for this Employment Act. Why is my shopping expensive? That's what I care about. So using that example that I was just trying to talk about then from my perspective, my lens, is that the Blinken regiment's got far more important things to do than be worrying about what ethnicity you are. That's why the selection's there in the cycle. Can you do the trucking job is the Blinken objective, and why governments or any organization would look to go away from that for the purposes of diversity and equality and inclusion is just trucking ridiculous. I don't know who come up with that, but the people, I don't even know if you can necessarily blame the person who came up with it. You can blame the people that decided to go, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's get old Bob over here, who's blanking about as what's the word I heard? Statement I heard? Who's about as useful as an asshole with taste buds, and let's get him to do that job, even though we know he can't do it. Ridiculous. And then there was some other stuff that they mentioned in there. Oh, sorry, let me come to the bloody chat. I asked you, and here I am yapping on, but that's because the chat was slow. But anyway, it looks like there's some comments now. Hawaii have the right idea. No corporate donations. Oh wow. Okay. Thanks for that, Dan. No idea about that. Meritocracy won't be allowed. It is counter to the objective. That's the Tamihana. Talk 5018. They should implement NZSA's policy, daily renewable contracts. Yeah, I reckon, that would, I reckon that would help sort out, especially in the public sector space. Lincoln Eck, especially on the money that they're getting, people that work in that space. You'd like to think that they go there not for the money, but then maybe I suppose maybe the money's just too enticing that they're like, oh, I'm here now. They can't get rid of me now, so I'm just going to stay here. Six Beth, oh, hang on, sorry. Before that, Rubber Kiwi. Problem with the 3 months trial is some employers never hire anyone for longer, so they can avoid providing the full-time benefits. Yeah, interesting, eh? I haven't heard that before, but yeah, thanks for that, Rubber Kiwi. Six Betham, the SAS is a meritocracy. If they introduced quotas, the standard of operator produced would be almost guaranteed to drop as a result of 100%. Absolutely, Six Betham. Buckaroony, everyone is green in the army. Doesn't matter what your background is. Yeah, there you go. That you just summed that up better than what I was talking about, Buck. So thank you very much. Hey, that blinking, is it PBC? That cooker that you got, Jumbuck, the Jumbuck cooker. That looks pretty good, man. I haven't finished watching the whole video yet. I'm just up to the part, or early into the piece. You've got it set up. You're outside the wind. The audio isn't too bad on that video, but yeah, that looks like a good piece of kit. Buckaroony, Sig Feather. In my experience, when the left talks about diversity, they actually just mean no white people. That's probably true. I still don't. I haven't looked into what does the left mean and the right mean? And I've had a number of people explain that to me a number of times. I've even said the particular parties. And for me, it's just been in one ear and out the other because I haven't been looking into it. But I'll get there. Who knows? Maybe by the end of this, I might be just that little bit brainier because of the comments and the information that you share. So if the left talks, they actually just mean white people. You got here. I loved my dark green bros in the army. I'm sure they loved you too, bro. The Tamihana, if you are interested in what the playbook looks like, check out Catherine Austin Fitz, interviewed by Tucker Carlson. She articulates the agenda and objectives. Okay, interesting. Austin Fitz. Christian Maver, just check out what quotas did to the aviation industry in America. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's what I like about this. There's some very smart people here that join this live, and it's cool when I see your comments pop up on here and the things. Now, you know, there's always going to be some retards likely that are going to talk, or people that I'm going to accuse of being retards. But I suppose everybody needs to have their say, maybe. I haven't set it up to try to block anybody. Just let people come and talk if they want. Anyway, where else was I? They spoke about blinking. Was it this lady for the Opportunity Party talking about wanting to set up limits on budgets, donations, which I think that's a good idea. Then at the same time, I heard David Seymour talking about what are they talking about? Essentially, they've received $100,000, $200,000 donations. I think what the Opportunity Party, from that perspective, if I heard it correctly when I went through, and from memory, because like I said, I've seen this video and I did a reaction to it. I think where she's coming from is it's status quo as it is now. Like the big parties, seems like they get bigger donations. With the bigger donations, they have the opportunity to spam the whole country with their promises, with their stories, with their narrative, etc., etc. They can put up more billboards or whatever it is that they were talking about. And those sort of things, as they know, and as marketers and advertisers know, those things catch people's eye. And those that are inclined to vote, if they go to the polling booth one day and they actually don't remember, they'll probably remember the last billboard or the other billboards that they've seen, or the most prominent ones that they've seen, and or the one with the most prominent adverts in terms of whatever devices they're using and whatever it is that they're looking up. Facebook, blinking, YouTube, or whatever else, Instagram. So there is, I'd say there is probably a significant advantage in that space. But again, I suppose if that's if those parties are the ones getting the majority of the money, then they're going to use that to their advantage. I think what she was talking about is they've got their money for this election. It is what it is. It's status quo. That can't be changed. Sounds like what she's talking about is when she gets in, or if she gets in, then they would change that and cap it at whatever it was, 30,000, I think was the number, across all of them, which would, the other part, or reason why I say I don't mind that idea, is that potentially it sounds like that might make it a bit more viable for, who knows, other parties. We the People Party. That's Dan Kidd running that one. But maybe other or smaller parties might come in. Who knows? I don't know, but might be worth considering. At the end of the day, though, cost of living is high and people want to be able to have the ability to buy things for their family, like what we read on the chat here a little bit earlier. But that is an interesting, I suppose, a thought to me when I heard that comment. The other parts that I heard in here was in regards to the separation of spiritual and cultural activities, or whatever the word is, from public service, from like normal everyday work. I have to admit, and I did speak about this in my reaction video. I remember, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember bits of it. I agree with that. I think there's nothing wrong with separating the spiritual and cultural aspects out of an organization, whether it's public sector or wherever, and just getting on with the job. Imagine if every day we rocked up to work, or if every day guys from the Australian SAS, if they're doing this, rocked up to work and they start every blinking day, session, briefing, job off with a welcome to country. It's just not gonna, just trucking ridiculous. And I've got the Indigenous woman, the Aboriginal woman who talks about that. I've got her video to show in this. She sums it up really nicely, gives her take on it. People have probably seen that video, but I'm going to share that later on. But I just think, I was working at corrections here at the office in town for New Zealand Corrections, or Arapotama Aotearoa, depending on what terminology people want to use. And I'm proud to be Māori. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's cool. That's who I am. It's part of who I am. Likely, if I was to dig deeper into my heritage, I'd probably find I got a whole bunch of other cultures in what makes me me. But I identify as a New Zealand Māori. That's what it says on my passport, and that's how I identify. And then for Australia, in terms of ethnicity, and then Australia's just got my name and Australian, So I'm blessed to have those two things. But when I go to work, like, I don't expect to have to start off every meeting that I have with the different parts of my areas of responsibility in the portfolio with a karakia, and then end with a karakia. Like, I'm there to get some work done. I'm there to do my job. I don't think that is necessary. People might say that's blasphemy. How can you say that? That's just colonizers trying to remove they want you to think that. They want you to think about, just getting rid of that. No, that doesn't remove that for me at all. I mean, if somebody's that way inclined and they want to prepare themselves before they go into a meeting, they can fill your boots, do it on your own. I think that's an individual responsibility. Personally, you do whatever it is that you feel that you need to do before you enter into your meeting or whatever, or your place of work. If that means you like to do that before every meeting that you do, well, find a quiet place and do that for you, and then head to your meeting and then do what you need to do. I never felt like it needed to. When I was sitting in those meetings, and there were lots of them, it felt like several things. One, that the people who were there, they were doing it because they felt like they had to, because of Arapotama Aotearoa's commitment to Te Tiriti o Waitangi here in Aotearoa, which is, it's nice that they want to do that, but it just seemed a bit more like tokenism, if I'm being honest. People were uncomfortable. Not everybody, but a number of people looked to be uncomfortable, particularly if and when they were asked to give the karakia in Te Reo Māori. And some people struggle with the pronunciation of Reo Māori words, which is understandable if it's not your first language, right? And so those aspects, it also felt like it wasn't, because of the tokenism, it didn't feel like it was having the impact that it needed to have, or that was intended to have prior to the meeting. And what I mean by that was to try to, I guess, clear the air, calm the space, so that people approach the meeting respectfully, thoughtfully, considered, prepared, ready to engage in healthy conversation in and around the matters or concerns or issues in relation to corrections, as I'm using that as an example. I, like everybody else, is like, yeah, I don't necessarily see any need to have to do it, but if that's the kaupapa, if that's how things roll here, then I'm going to roll with it. You also end up in rooms and meeting rooms, and then it's like, on the agenda, karakia, would anybody like to? And then straight away all the eyes go look at the brown fella, eh? Like, it's like, would you like to? Which is fun. I didn't mind. So for those, the good thing about corrections as well is that they also had an app with a number of different karakia on it and the English translations, so that, to help people and their learning it. And they were making lots of cool steps, or taking lots of cool steps and things to try to help people. All good. But I don't think, personally, like, even while I was there, I don't think we needed to, but everybody ran with it and rolled with it. I had people there from the UK, from Australia, from Africa, from India, from China, and other parts of Asia. that were in there, and they all appeared to, give their best effort and participate in doing those things, even though they looked uncomfortable, felt uncomfortable, and sometimes some of that trying to clear and prepare everybody before a courageous conversation, I've heard them described as, or difficult or challenging conversation. It didn't seem to work in a number of cases, let's just say, in terms of the, how would you describe it? Sometimes fireworks that could, I suppose, happen in those meetings. So again, how the individual turns up to the meeting is up to them. I've witnessed and seen where karakia starting before a meeting had no impact at all in terms of the spirit or the respect shown within that meeting. And then I also witnessed a number of people get up and walk out before the closing karakia took place. So yeah, anyway, there's lots more I could go into about that. What else did they talk about? This corruption thing. The bloody, do we not have an independent corruption? Well, if we do, clearly they're not doing a very good job, I would say. I mean, if Australia's National Anti-Corruption Commission can't do their job properly, then what chance have we got? It's, by the sounds of things, it sounds like we don't even have one. I think I remember saying in my reaction, is that true? Can somebody help me out? Do we not already have an anti-corruption, not party, but like a, what do you call it? A branch or an arm that can look into political corruption, if that's the right term. Oh, bloody hell, this thing will be cold by now. Still nice though. Oh, that's the lemon again. Yeah, just weird. If we don't have that, I can stop sharing that, I think. Oh, I'm not even sharing anything. Actor. Bro, wake up. The chat is over here. Sorry, peeps. Don't read that. Read that. Six Beetham. In Europe, when we see the European leadership allowing an invasion by illegal migrants, it's the application of the clouded pivot strategy, i.e. overload resources until the current system collapses. Yeah, it's crazy, eh? We got to get on the same bandwagon as Poland. I'm going to show that clip. Actually, maybe I'll show that soon. Oh, should I go to it now? Yeah, let's go to it now. Let's go. Let's check out Poland. Share screen. Let's see what they're doing. Poland goes hard. That's this one here. Share and play.
People want to invade Poland, and Poland isn't having it.
We are in the borderline between Poland and Belarus. We want to go Poland, but they don't let us. They said if I go to Poland, they will hit me or they will kill me.
Good, because you shouldn't be there, because that's not how the immigration process works, Cuzzy. And so you standing there complaining to or talking and giving a sook to the camera, too trucking bad.
In fact, Poland just passed a bill allowing their border guards to shoot and kill anyone trying to force their way into their country. But some people say this is racist.
So if that's true, I think Ceuta could have used that policy, and they should blink and do something about it, because you'll see one of the footage clips in the videos after this. But sorry, let's carry on. This guy's like, the first time I've seen him, but just, he's hitting my eyeballs with those blinking glasses of his. It reminds me of, the guy that gets around on a skateboard, or used to get around, Casey. Casey, is it Neistat? Something like that. He's always wearing the glasses. I know why he wears the glasses too, because I've seen one of his videos. I follow him. He wears his dark glasses because it allows him to look away from the camera and look down and then just read his script in terms of what it is that he's talking about, and the ability to point to things. So he's not, it looks like he's looking at the camera with his glasses on, but he's not. He's looking down and or reading whatever prompts and aids he's got to help with this. I was like, oh, that's smart. That may be what this guy's doing. I don't know. Anyway,
The Polish government doesn't seem to care about that, though.
What do you think of the fact that many other European countries call you a racist or a fascist? I don't give a single fuck. I don't give a shit. And everyone was like, how can you say that? Yes, I can say that. I don't give a shit. What you have to take care of is your own family.
What you have to take care of is your own family. I couldn't give a SHIT. And he carries on.
Own country.
Your own country.
Own safety.
This weird loop.
And your own safety. Your own family, your own country, your own safety. Seems pretty simple and common sense, eh? In terms of it's your country. A foreigner wants to come into your country. You get in the blinking line like everybody else, cuzzy. You fill out the paperwork. You do whatever it is that you need to do. You earn enough points. You bring some skills that are going to actually help the place that you want to go to. And you come there prepared, ready and willing to assimilate into that culture or that country and come over with whatever the language is, have an understanding and being able to speak the language of that country that you're going to. Doesn't seem like unreasonable ask. Doesn't sound like racism to me.
Lukewarm communist idea that countries don't have the legal right to enforce their own borders or they're racist is the most pussy ass shit that I've ever seen. Do y'all agree with Poland or not? Let me know down in the comments.
I agree with Poland. It's a good call. I don't know what else, what other people think. Hang on, where are we? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, bloody hell. I missed the chat again. Europe, see European. Did I read that one? Yes, I did. Overloaded. Yep. Far right is fascism versus far left is communism. Example, should just chuck a campaign donation cap for everyone. Say 500k max. Yeah, okay. Cheers. Mix up working. Sigs Betham. The current left-right paradigm needs to be redefined. The far left and far right are more alike than different. Horseshoe theory is better, but far from perfect. Righto. Thank you, Sigs Betham. I'm a devout Eastern Orthodox Christian. I don't expect my work to pray the divine liturgy of St. John Chrysostom before work, much as I might think it would be good for everyone. Fair enough. I don't want to force my culture onto others. Yeah, I don't think we should need to, eh? Like, even immigrants coming here, I don't expect to force every immigrant to learn how to do the haka or speak in te reo Māori or whatever. But I would like them to understand, respect, acknowledge, and make up their mind. I'm coming here to this country or whichever country you're going to. I'm coming here because of the opportunities that it's going to give me to create and make a better life for me, my family, whatever. And I am prepared to work in and assimilate to how they do things, you know, like otherwise, if you don't like it, then truck off. Perhaps that's why I'm not a Muslim. We had one, but they went quiet after the leader resigned. Here, Poland is based. The Serious Fraud Office. Oh, is that what we have, Dan? The Serious Fraud Office? Is that our political party anti-corruption branch or people that seem like they do nothing? If I was Minister of Immigration under PM Horta, I'd adopt the immigration policies of Vlad the Impaler. Crack up. What's this voivode of Wallachia? Is that another language? You were hitting me with all the French in some of your other comments in the other videos. The left uses words like racist as a cudgel. It's meant to stop any argument when they're losing. Yeah, same with the Islamophobia stuff, eh? And the transphobia and all those other phobias that are used to blink and try to stop the conversation. Poland is over 97% Polish. Not many countries have that. Japan, maybe. Wow. See, what are we doing? Why are we not taking Poland's? No wonder they're 97, because people don't want to leave there. They want to stay there. Good for them. Charlie29, the Anti-Corruption Task Force in partnership with New Zealand Police and the Public Services Commission is run by the Serious Fraud Office. Okay. Thank you, Charlie29. Look at that. Got Dan letting me know, Charlie29 letting me know about that. Thank you very much. If people really need help, Do they? It's an anti-corruption task force in partnership with New Zealand Police and the Public Services Commission. Man, they must have truck all to do. I don't see or hear anything about them in the media. Like, are they? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe they're doing a whole bunch of work. Maybe they're just ongoing investigations. I don't know. Rubber Kiwi, if people really need help, are really desperate, I'm prepared to go there and help out anytime. Emphasis on there. There you go. That's a fair point. Say a good point. I think maybe that's partly why things like the United Nations and stuff may be part of their remit or what they look to do. But it's similar to, like, when the blinking fires have gotten out of control in the US, and firefighters from Australia and New Zealand have gone, or in Australia, and sort of things have been reciprocated in and around the place. Might not be a good example, but I like what Rubber Kiwi's saying there. Prepared to go there to provide help. Where are we? Talk, bro. If you were PM for the day and without limitations, what would be the first thing you'd do? Cut everybody in the public sector, including the Prime Minister, including my own salaries, to say $90,000 a year, because you get all the other stuff. All your travel's paid for. Probably got a fuel card. Probably got an expenses card, which should be checked by the accounts. That's their job. And if you play up and muck around with that, then blink and, oh well, car keats, bros. See you later. And then that way, I think, or even then at $90,000 a year, I don't think, say 100,000, but 90,000 to 100,000, somewhere in there, I think is more than fair enough for all the other expenses and stuff. That's just initially off the top of my head. People say, oh, but it's running a country and you've got all that stress and scrutiny and pressure and blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, the Prime Minister's not running the country by himself. He's got however many cabinet ministers who then oversee portfolios, who then within those portfolios have got other managers and leaders that oversee those, who've got staff members who look after that and actually do the work. And so it goes. Not to be derogatory in terms of down and down and down, but you know what I mean, that sort of hierarchical structure. And I have no idea what the structure is clearly in the New Zealand political space. But that's the first thing that comes to mind. They're getting paid way too much. Like, why does the Prime Minister, their cabinet ministers and all that sort of stuff, who are not physically doing the work, you reckon Winston Peters is out there doing all the manual work at blinking 200 years old or however old he is? He's not. He's got other people. He's got obviously he's an intelligent man, I would say, and as are probably some of these other people, but they're just blinking. You don't need all of that. And then I think that would probably help those leaders, PM included, have a bit of an understanding of, this is actually what it's like. This is what they mean when they talk about the cost of shopping is expensive, because I'm not getting $8,000, $10,000 a week for my salary, and I've got a fuel card and I've got a work car, so I'm not paying for maintenance on the car, I'm not paying for fuel, I'm not paying all these things that us normal people have to budget for, have to allow for, have to allocate for, and have to prioritize. Sometimes I've got to can't have ice cream this week or whatever it is. First world problems, I know. Got to stick to the baked beans. Now, I'm not saying that it would be that bad. I don't think it would be that bad, but that's like the first thing that comes to mind as soon as I read your question. There's a whole bunch of stuff, bro. For the day without limitations, that's the first thing that would go. Cut everybody's blinking salaries, not to zero, but like I said, 90 to 100 grand. I think that's fair and reasonable with everything else. Christian Maver, Sigs spot on. Left and right, two sides of the same ass. Our right imported just as many immigrants as our left. They all answer to the same master, the inventors of the Klergy Plan. SFO, what is it called? That was Serious Fraud Office website for more info, bro. Roger that. Okay, I'll have to have a look at that. Ethnically homogenous societies like Poland and Japan just work better. Diverse societies tend towards authoritarianism because it's easier to divide and conquer. 100%. Well, that's why that saying's been around for a long time, eh? Divide and conquer, diversity, all these blinking plebs and bloody politics talking about diversity is great for the country. That blinking Penny Wong, I think she's come out with some outrageous claims in regards to Australia. She's no filter, that one. She's a bloody idiot too. But anyway, Jazz Dog, Poland got invaded by Nazi and a lot of them got shot in the forest. Yep, okay. It's definitely looks like shoes on the other foot now. I don't know that those were Nazis though, looking to try to get into there, but I like what it is. From what I've heard, if they're 97% Polish people that are there, that's a much better statistic in terms of preserving the heritage, the culture, everything else about their country. Sixbeth, Christian, maybe all our politicians take orders from the unelected. Yeah, World Economic Forum, we only have the illusion of democracy these days. Yeah, crap, eh? Poland, never again. Christian, maybe we always had, that's for them. I'll leave that. Jazz Dog, public service should be capped at 20 years. All departments have an allowance for the opportunity of an extra 5 years for special circumstances. A certain nation in the Middle East, which has some of the strongest borders and strictest immigration controls, is trying to force mass immigration on other nations. I mean, Luxon did say he can survive on $60 a week grocery shopping. 90K sounds reasonable. Yeah, I think it's, me personally, I think it's reasonable. Yeah, given everything else that they get. Retracted, that's to Jazz Dog. Dan, the CEO of our council gets over 500K, plus the car and the free food and the rest. Yeah, well, there you go, eh? Like, I mean, that's why that's the first thing at the top of my head. I just can't understand with why tax your people more when you're already getting, like, that's, you're still going to need tax. I'm not saying that we don't need tax, but I think there is more things that can be done, which would, in my opinion, I think that would force people then, those that are truly like genuine about wanting to help the economy, the country, the people of that particular country, you put it and say, if you're coming into this job, it's advertised, it's $90,000 a year. I don't think you're going to get people like Luxon or Chris Hipkins or these other people putting up their hand for that. I just don't see it. They might do. And if they did, cool, credit to them. I think there would probably be a lot of people in that space that have been very comfortable and used to the salaries that they've been on, and have become accustomed to a certain way of life, that would struggle, and that would then go, yeah, I don't want to do this job. I want to go somewhere else where they're still paying what they used to pay. I think, yeah, anyway, there's lots. I could go on about that for ages. River Kiwi, 1 term limit, picked at random from population, vote national vote at the end of the term. Good job, 100 grand. Bad job, year in prison. That would encourage better behavior, no doubt. There you go. There's some more ideas. The old CEO of Watercare up in Auckland was on 800K a year. Then it went public and there was a lot of backlash. He later resigned. Crazy. 800K a year. Like, I mean, private sector stuff with their companies. Oh, that's not private. You're talking about Watercare. Watercare, that would be public, eh? Under the governmental. What was the thing I was reading last week? Can't even bloody remember it now. When I went through that list anyway in the portfolios. Anyway, probably sits in one of those things. Yeah, with regards to like that's a ridiculous salary, in my opinion. What are you doing for 800K a year as the CEO? Because you're definitely not doing all the work. You're just not. And that's why I say when people go, oh, but it's a very stressful job, Prime Minister, and this, that. Yeah, listen to me, eh? Haven't even served as a Prime Minister. But you know what I mean. They're not the person doing everything. They've got people there. Their job is to oversee that, manage it. They've got their own portfolio areas of responsibility that they probably have got more of a hands-on approach to it. But still, I'd say it's still probably at hand's distance as they get other people in to look after all of that sort of work for them. So, yeah, I just don't see the rationale for that. But anyway, where are we? 800K. I think it's Wales that has introduced criminal charges against politicians who are caught lying to the public. I might be wrong about which country it was. Okay. Christian Maver, Jacinta Allen. Oh, you mean Jacinta Ardern? You've got here Jacinta Allen. Sorry, yep. The Premier who just resigned gets a 300k a year pension for the rest of her life. Pretty crazy, eh? In terms of what has been allowed to be implemented. If that's the same Jacinta Allen that's been involved in alleged corruption stuff there, then that's just ridiculous. Sigsbeth, the water infrastructure in Wellington has been poorly run for years, and now the citizens have to pay exorbitant water rates after the water care CEOs or people in charge have been on 800k a year or whatever it is. Trucking ridiculous. Jazz Dog, nations should rely on taxing citizens. Shouldn't rely on taxing citizens. Nations should make their wealth from their natural resources, not give them away to foreign companies, as Australia does currently. Yeah, lots of things there that could be done in there. Like old David Pocock seems like he's doing some really good work, but it seems like, good work in terms of questioning those decision makers. But I don't think anything's been done. It must feel, dare I say, draining for him in terms of his role. Or in terms of what he's trying to do. Senator Pocock, I think it is actually. But yeah, Australia is such a wealthy country with its minerals and resources and all that sort of stuff available. And the fact that there is no tax on these large organizations, it seems, for the resources that they're just removing from Australia, as an example, is just crazy. Mind-blowing to me, man. No government, it seems, has had any backbone or spine. Who was it? That guy, Kerry Packer. If that guy was still alive, should have made him blinking Prime Minister. I watched that. I don't know if I did a reaction to it. I don't think I have, but I've watched when he's sitting in front of the Senate hearing. No lawyers, no blinking entourage. Sat there all by himself, blinking dirtbag Costello and whoever the other blinking twats are in the peanut gallery, questioning him about the merger or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was now. It's something to do with the merger and the blinking, all the media stuff. And then they started trying to get into his tax, and blinking, man, he just destroyed them. It was awesome to watch, even though that was ages ago. And I looked at him and thought, far out. Imagine if that guy was alive. I don't know what he was like, but I just think to myself, there's somebody that blinking just went against the grain and did his own thing and didn't try to hide. He appeared to be open and blank and transparent about all his dealings, had answers for everything. There was nothing that he didn't take anything on notice. Just check that fella out, eh? He took nothing on notice, like all these Weasley twats do these days in their Senate hearings. I'll have to take that on notice. Or they just flat out say, I don't know. Or they were deflected and directed to that question needs to go to the relevant organization or authorities or whatever, or I don't want to speculate on this. They're just useless. And they had the cheek to bring that fella in. And then they got cleaned up. They couldn't catch him on anything because he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was telling the truth, wasn't he, about what he was doing? And he was trying to explain that and explaining himself over and over and over again, and it still wasn't getting through their thick brains or to their thick brain. But yeah, that was cool. Anyway, other people might know more about him, or I know he had gambling thinking traits or whatever, but anywho, I digress. What's that? Watercare is council owned. Okay. We are peasants and they are all laughing at us. Yep, no doubt. Yep. Queensland Premier is paid more than Australian Prime Minister. Holy heck, is that right? Queensland Premier is paid more than the Australian Prime Minister. Well, I mean, anybody should be getting paid more than the bloody Australian Prime Minister. But that's surprising that Dumbanese hasn't done something about that or tried to stop that. That's mad. That's for Christian. Dan, my brother went to Poland for an OE. He is 64. Oh, he is 6'4". Sorry, excuse me. Māori dreadlocks loves a punch up. He said, don't go there. They hate outsider. They gang up on you, stab you like in the outback. Wow. Holy heck. Okay, so there's the warning for us people. What's the saying? Taxation is theft. Technically, it's more like armed robbery, given the threat of force that is implied if you fail to pay it. Joe, I love that Kerry Packer thing. Yeah, watched it a couple of times, made my wife laugh. Why are you watching that again? He owned every politician on that bench, 100%. Maybe I'll do a reaction to that. Maybe not a reaction. People just go and watch it. That's what you should do. Have your own reaction to it. It's awesome. I think it's awesome. Where am I? Bloody hell, I went way off topic. Anyway, if I can close that one down. Is that the one? Yeah, close that. Where was I? I even had a list of things to go through. I was working through them until until I got sidetracked on that. But that's all good. Oh, yeah, bloody hell. Don't need that. Here we go. This is for Australia. This is for the Australian viewers. I know you're there. You've been looking forward to this. Drum roll. Share. There you go. Your newest Australian citizen, Jacinda Ardern. More than 300,000 healthy teenagers were given second COVID doses in New Zealand after officials were given advice warning about the risk of myocarditis, but kept the public in the dark. And then they got a full article there if you want to go and have a look. But that's crazy, eh? I did hear of people, I think that's inflammation or enlarging inflammation of the heart. To do with the heart anyway. Sure, I'm pretty sure from memory it's inflammation or along those lines. But I remember people saying that they felt their heart racing at the place that I was working when we got our jabs for those of us that got the jab for COVID at that time. For me, in the job that I was in one of those, what was it called? Priority or primary services. I was working as a service manager for an intellectual disability service called Hohepa Auckland up in Auckland. And so the need to be able to have staff to care for and look after the people there was deemed one of those services whereby you had to have the jab if you wanted to stay there and work. And so I'm new back to NZ, trying to get set up, work while my family's still in Perth. We've still got to bring them over at some stage and pay for all of that sort of stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, I've been blinking jabbed and stabbed and inoculated with a whole bunch of other stuff in my time in the military, and the one that stuck out to me was anthrax. We had to have anthrax before we could go to Iraq. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just get this. It was just, for me, it was just another jab. So I did, and that allowed me to be able to work. But we had a number of people that chose not to, and so we went through that process. I supported the general manager. She had to run a number of meetings. I was the note taker while she ran that. And then they had their support people, and then there's a whole bunch of just stuff going around. I felt for our staff that didn't want to have the jab, and fair enough on them, good on them too. I definitely didn't try to tell them to get the jab. I said, you do what's best for you at the end of the day, and the rest of us just had to do extra shifts. I remember being on the floor, which was fine for me, but being on the floor in the houses, because we had several residential houses with several the wording that we had to use was people that we support, not residents, not clients. They're just people at the end of the day. So they wanted to try to make it sound nicer. People that we support. But I still picture them. I can still see their faces. Good people. But a number of them needed full care, like full support in terms of hygiene, cleaning, showering, bathing, all that sort of stuff, bathroom care, all that sort of thing. So yeah, you just roll your sleeves up and you just get amongst it and get on the ground and support the people that you're there to support, that the service is there for. But sadly, that meant that a number of people that didn't want to be or get the COVID jab, they no longer had a job at that time, which was unfortunate. We lost some really good workers at that space, and I don't know what they're up to now, but pretty tough process for a lot of people during that time. What's this? NZ is sitting on a gold mine. I wonder if we will end up mining our own resources. Yeah, who knows? I've been to Poland multiple times. This is from SIG, to attend courses at ESA, and I was treated very well. Loved the locals. Cool. Look at that, eh? Different perspectives. It may be because the other fella's appearance was a 6'4" darkie. I don't know. And maybe that's what made him stand out. 6'4" Māori, dreadlocks. Maybe that's what stuck out to him. I don't know what you look like, Sig, but possibly I'm making an assumption there. What's this? Attended ESA cause Jazz Dog. Kerry Packer was great and correct when New Zealand and Australia parliaments didn't have many university graduates. It operated well and real work got done. Things were achieved. That's cool. Inflammation of the heart, myocarditis. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Charlie29. Forcing people to take a dangerous experimental medicine in order to make a living is evil. Yeah, and you know, Christian Maybo's been on air. He refused to have it, and massive respect to him too. Wasn't easy. Not easy for anybody to, you know, they've got a living to make, they've got families to look after and provide for, bills to pay. The list goes on, eh? But yeah, people that were prepared to do that held their ground, and turns out they were right. I'd say it turns out I was right too, because I said this bloody thing didn't need to be locked down as a pandemic. It's bloody rubbish. It's just a cold. But anyway, that's me. Some people might not be very happy with me for saying that. Talk, bro. I was annoyed when our work threatened basically our jobs if we didn't get the second dose of the jab, and then 3 months later they canned it. Crazy, eh? I mean, not like I care what you put in your body, but threatened to lose your jobs over it was crazy. Yeah, very, and it actually took place too. Like I said, the place where I was working, we didn't want to let those staff go. We didn't want them to not come and work there. Like they built relationships with the people that we're looking after. But yeah, under those rules, and for the safety and well-being of the community, decisions were made by people that would exercise that authority and send people out, like the armed robbery analogy that Sig just shared earlier. I think that was in regards to tax. The mRNA vaccine is totally different from the inoculations we had to take in the army to deploy. Oh, yeah. I know, but I didn't bother looking into it. To me, it was just another inoculation. So it came in a little syringe. They had a little thing there, and then they just went dink, and then pulled back, make sure it's, you know, not drawing any blood, and then just carried on and squirted it in. So that's how I looked at it. Those had years of testing with known and avoidable side effects. Yeah, crazy, eh? How magically all of a sudden there's this vaccine that just magically appears. Some people made a heck of a lot of money, as we've seen with old Fauci, with his pardon that he received from Biden, I think it is. Jason, think that's a good reason for an extradition order from NZ. Take her back. Not to mention possible illegal and a breach of rights. Yeah, mad, eh? Six Bear, I too am also a 6'2" Māori with dreadlocks. Nah, I'm white as. Yeah. So possibly, I don't know. Maybe they just saw that 6'4" Māori with dreadlocks, and went tapped all of this. Is some pretty hearty, big Polish fellas as well. Probably walked over and obviously took exception, and or had questions of that fella. Sig, 300 to 500 people die every year from the flu in NZ, but we locked down the country after 3 died from COVID. That's crazy. I didn't know that stat. Thanks for sharing that. And those were probably elderly and or had pre-existing serious medical conditions. I think there's probably a lot of truth to that. I know they claimed more died later, but I suspect they lied about a lot of the death numbers. So do I, to justify what they did, their actions, which is blinking, just seems like a crock of blinking humbug. Can stop sharing that. What's this? Spot on, Sigs. In Perth, I couldn't enter a pub, cafe, restaurant, gym, etc. Yeah, bloody rubbish, eh? Some people just really felt the pinch, and I know some of those people. Like I said, some of those people couldn't work where we were at that time because of the rules that were put in place for the I forget what the term was, but like mandatory service or primary service or something like that. It applied to when I was working in the food industry as a health and safety business partner for George Weston Foods here in NZ, and then for the youth at risk at Youth Horizons, that was also considered primary, or whatever the term was, and then at Hohepa as well, in that intellectual disability space. So yeah, and obviously healthcare and first responders and all that sort of stuff were obviously a priority ones on that list as well for work, and then other companies. That's how and where a lot of small businesses, like people who's trying to get started and the things that they were doing couldn't continue because of the decisions that were made. So it's impacted a heck of a lot of people for sure. What's this? Dan, the 1918 Spanish flu killed 50 million people. Our Urupa has a large area of unmarried graves from that. So COVID freaked me out at first and we were isolated. Okay. Cheers for that, Dan. Cheers for sharing that. Oh, I have no doubt that a number of people probably were concerned, maybe rightly so, were concerned about what was happening with regards to COVID at that time. We've done that one. I'm going to jump to this Ceuta clip. This will maybe put into perspective in terms of what we saw with regards to Poland in that other clip. Look at what Ceuta like now. That's crazy. Ceuta, after just 2 weeks of migrant occupation, looks like a third world country. Look at that on their shores, and all males. 60,000 odd males, Moroccans males, invading Ceuta, another country. I've seen some clips and videos of ladies from Ceuta, feeling extremely unsafe, walking down the street surrounded by all these blinking retard immigrants that have made their way across the border illegally. She's got her dog to try to give her some protection, and there's media there and police, and it seems like the police are blinking upset with her or questioning her in terms of what she's doing. So just crazy. I could be wrong on that, but this would be a perfect opportunity for any country and any government to go, let's activate our military right now. Let's get our military and all our first responders. Let's get the fire trucks down there. Let's go down and, yep, this lot of people, they swam across here. These ones blinking skirted around the edges. They can line up, blinking rubber bullets galore, or blinking bean bags galore and fire hoses galore. And you twats blinking get back to where you came from, or round them all up, or execute the order, give the order for like Poland has given to get these people to move. They'll get up and leave. They'll be jumping straight back into that water to swim across whatever it was that they swam across on to get back to where they came from. Pretty sure they're not going to stay there. And you got your military in it there, that show of force for them to go back to where you came from. Get the truck out of here. It's crazy that this is going on this long. We've seen in mainstream media the footage of apparently over half of those illegal immigrants have been returned back or crossing back over the border, blank and load of rubbish. It's just mad. What do you think another 30, 40,000 odd men that are there in that sort of situation that have taken and have chosen or made the decision to go crossing over into there are going to do in another 2 weeks' time? I hate to think what potentially will happen. I know from what I've seen and little clips that I've watched with the translations or the captions that come up down the bottom, there've been young ladies and families talking about they're just trying to get out of that area and move away from Ceuta because they feel like they're just going to be overrun, and it's just a matter of days. So the fear that is there amongst the locals is crazy. And the fact that you can see footage like this and the government doesn't appear to be doing anything. Like I said, activate your military, get your police down there, get your first responders, whatever you need to do, and get these twats blinking off your land, so to speak. Mad. Anyway, what do you fellas think? Where are we? Yeah, innocent people were essentially imprisoned in their own homes for 2+ years without charge or trial for the crime of refusing an untested experimental medication. Shameful, all right? But we ignored all the lessons learned from previous pandemics, like the Spanish flu during COVID, ignored all the science. We'll probably do it again too. Somebody else will have another idea and theory or whatever it is that they want to test to get us all probably locked up again in our own home. Spain needs another Reconquista. Man, it's just crazy. Jason, Spanish government brought that upon the country by giving residential status to illegals that were already there. Fucking ridiculous, man. Crazy. Anywho, I'm going to close. Yeah, I don't need that one. What's Uncle Winston got to say? What's this one about? Why do they keep on telling you you've got to work? Let's come back to NZ. What's Uncle Winston got? Dad's up. Play.
Oh, and by the way, we announced our KiwiSaver policy. The day you're born, you're going to get $1,000. You're going to become a saver. And a month later, guess what? You know what happened? The National Party.
No, I don't know what happened.
Came out and announced the same policy and just changed the amount. Never even mentioned where they got it from.
Ah, National Party came out. Oh, Luxtard. Potato Head come out, eh? National Party come out, announced the same policy as what they've just, or was what he's just mentioned there. What's the dollar amount? They changed the dollar amount. What, to more? Probably to more. Interesting, eh? How political parties will look at, and it's, I suppose, same anywhere in any sort of organization. You see something that looks like and sounds like that could be a winner, and or how they do things. Oh yeah, I think we'll probably try it that way, or we'll get that equipment, or we'll do it like that as well, or we'll trial it. I get it, nothing wrong with that. They're not going to give credit to where they got the idea from, and even if they were asked about it, I would assume they're not going to say, oh well, we heard New Zealand first and so we decided we'll do that, but we'll go better. They'll be like, well, it's been a part of our planning and discussions for quite some time. That'll be the throwaway line. Bloody, those fellas are just, they're not even masters at deception or lying. They just flat out lie and people just gobble it up and think, oh, wow, that's great. They were thinking about this for months in advance prior to this happening. And then they just made the announcement.
The very people who shut the policy down were now saying, we want the other parties to join us. That's unbelievable how you can get away with that. But anyways, that's what they did. And then they went and stole our long-term savings policy. Oh, and by the way, those of you who are turning 65, why do they keep on telling you you've got to work longer? Right? Especially in the manual jobs, where it's very hard to go past 65. You've done your physical work. And then if you're a Maori or Polynesian, your chance of making 65 are pretty much less than other people. So they're 65 years of age, which we all...
Did I just hear Uncle Winston try to be as politically correct as he could? You Maori or Pacific Islander people is much less than other people.
Agrees a fair time to retire. They want to change the age. All the other parties are talking about that. All the other parties want to do that, or they want to means test you. But they never talk about the Cullen Fund. That's $92 billion we put aside. So when the charges got too high, we'd be able to use the Cullen Fund to smooth out the cost to the taxpayer. They never mention that. And there can be only one reason for that, isn't that what it is?
No.
They intend to privatize it. They intend to steal that $92 billion, put it somewhere else, or try and cover up that they can't run the economy. And ladies and gentlemen, the old parties can't run the economy.
So if that's the case, what's that SFO, Serious Fraud Office? Do they... Well, I know Charlie29 said, yeah, I'll check them out. I'll have a look at the website later. But how do they, if that's what he's suspecting, it sounds like a pretty big claim. $92 billion. They're going to siphon that off somewhere else. What? So when does the Serious Fraud Office get notified? Like how much evidence is required? I assume there's probably going to be a lot. They probably, I don't know what the process is. Anyway, what else he got to say?
You've had 45 years of watching it. Now, I mean, am I talking to the Mother Teresa Society? Because you've got to be the most forgiving people in the whole world. They keep on failing, you keep on voting for them.
The Mother Teresa Society. It's surprised he didn't say the Dummy Teresa Society. Shouldn't say that. R.I.P. to Mother Teresa. But yeah, that's just nuts. I mean, I've shared that before when I've been speaking about the Australian government. I mean, if Labor gets back in and the Albanese government, and you got the blinking Wong ones in there. Unfortunately, Australia's going to feel the pinch of that and of those decisions. Maybe they'll feel it short term, medium term, and long term. Yeah, so I just hope, I hope for Australia's sake that they don't. Here in NZ, I have no idea who's better. National's rubbish. I'm definitely not voting for them. I don't think Labor's any better. And then you've got old Uncle Winston here, Greens Party, the Opportunity Party, Te Pāti blinking humbug. Definitely not voting for them either. Yeah, and who else? I don't know.
Local branch of the Mother Teresa Society in Hawke's Bay. Or you can make up your mind. We've had enough. We've had it up to here. Give us another party a chance, just in 3 years, to say we can turn this around.
Good luck with that, mate, and whoever gets the call up. Sorry. Innocent. No, read that. Residential. No, read that as well. Got to bow out. Sig homies. Goodbye. Joseph, you're welcome. Cheers, bro. Thanks for stopping by. Talk. Uncle Winnie cracks me up. That was John Key, the smiling assassin. Hey, true. The smiling assassin, eh? Excuse me. Bloody humbugs. These people. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I got sent this. I got to share this video. I'm sharing this video. US troops try to teach Afghan National Army recruits jumping jacks. It's no wonder the country fell in days. Let's go here. Oh, where's the audio? Here we go. Holy heck. Those fellas look like the Opportunity Party that was dancing out on the street earlier in that video that I played. That's blinking terrible. Anyway, let's stop sharing that now. I had a laugh when I saw that though. Still laughing about it. What's that? Looks like Air Force jumping jacks. Talk 5018. What do we have? Oh, here we go. Here she is. Definitely, I said we wanted to play this one. This lady nails it. Oh, there's another video too that I need to try and grab and pull up. I'll look to try to do that. This lady here. Have a listen to this one.
And if I come into your home, I'll knock on the door.
You'll get a smack in the face.
And I'll say, it's okay if I come in? You go, yeah, welcome.
Yep, you're not leaving though.
And Indigenous people have been doing this for thousands of years.
I've had a gutful of this fake token welcome to country crap. Every damn footy game, cricket match, concert, you name it, we've got to sit through the same rehearsed nonsense like it actually means anything to the average Aussies. It's not culture. It's a box-ticking exercise pushed down our throats. You want real respect? How about we honor the people who actually built and protected this country, our Anzac, our veteran, the men and women who gave their lives so that we can enjoy a beer and watch a game and live free. Instead of some awkward speech nobody connects with, let's have a minute silence before the game. Let's raise the flag, play the anthem proud, and remember our fallens. That's real, that's Aussie, not this guilt trip ritual that does more to divide us than unite us. Time to stand up for real culture, our shared Aussie identity.
Pretty cool, eh? I thought it was cool when I first heard it. I think that's probably, I want to say probably the third time I've seen that now. But yeah, Like, this woman, just her opinion. There may be a number of other Indigenous people or other Australians who may have a different opinion, but I think she makes a really good point about all the welcome to country stuff. I experienced that and probably felt similar things to what I described in terms of karakia before and after and meetings and stuff in my time at corrections. Probably experienced similar things in Australia. I personally couldn't connect with it, but I would respect the process, for want of a better term, when those welcome to countries would take place. But yeah, I think again, the separation of spiritual and cultural aspects, they definitely have a place, time and place for those in your normal everyday work, or from what she was describing, probably not so much. But yeah, anyway, I thought it was pretty cool of her sharing her thoughts and stuff. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, what I should have had a look was, oh yeah, good on your sister in the comments. That is the real Aboriginal Australian. I don't know who she is, but God bless her. Most Aboriginal people are sick of this, and to think welcome to country is not Aboriginal culture. I definitely would not welcome Albo to this country, nor into my house. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of comments and stuff in there. Yeah, it's cool. Anyway. Oh, what's in there? They look like the 3-week Wanda Territorial Basic. Your other left, your other left. Crack up, yeah, I reckon. The Afghanistan haka looks like the old All Black. That's a good one, Dan. Yep, if people have seen those, I've used that footage in various just leadership training courses and stuff that I've run, and used those olden day huckers where they just look completely lost. They look like they want to get out of there as fast as they can, versus the Rugby World Cup one's led by Tana Umanga, one's led by Richie McCaw, or at the front of the Arrowhead when they started doing those. It's like night and day difference. But yeah, just reading your comment brings back the memory of those old school huckers. Dudale said during the first lockdown in Wellington, we had 3 die from COVID while we lost over 50 because they were denied treatment for cancer. Strange way to save lives. Wow. We had 3 die from COVID while we lost over 50 because they were denied treatment for cancer. That's ridiculous, man. Crazy. Where are we? Russian. I got another. No, got that. Oh, yeah. Dad makes pedophile dig own grave after discovering video of him assaulting daughter. This is, I got sent this, but this must be, I want to say old. I can't see a date. Where's the date? I had a little read of it anyway. It was only like 2 minutes. But I thought, good on this fella. That was my thought anyway. That's the heading there. And then about a 2-minute read. Oh, what's that? 10 months old. So last year. That's the guy there, the dad and his partner, Vyacheslav Matrosov, pictured with his wife, Natalia. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but that's my attempt at it. A Russian father, I'll just go, Matrosov, 35, took justice into his own hands when he forced the man who sexually abused his 6-year-old daughter to dig his own grave in the woods before persuading him to commit suicide. That's good. That's awesome. Again, that's one of those crimes I'm an advocate for, the death penalty. Like, there's no good going to come from those people. You had your chance, and Karkits, as far as I'm concerned. Matrosov had discovered video footage of his young daughter being coerced into sexual acts by Oleg Lincoln Dirtbag, 32. The man featured in the recording. A chilling audio clip reveals the child's desperate plea. And I don't even want to read that out. Initially, Matrosov faced murder charges, but further investigation revealed that twat's injuries were self-inflicted. In 2022, Matrosov received an 18-month prison sentence, of which he served 12 months before being released. Man, he shouldn't have served any. The news emerges as cruel mum who caused son to lose legs due to abuse set for early release. Holy heck. Here he is. Made Oleg dig his own grave. So that must be the sites. Public sentiment in Russia rallied behind Matrosov when it was revealed that he had made his daughter's abuser dig his own grave in the forest. Upon his release from prison, Matrosov posted a photo on social media with the caption, "Home, love very much." So that must be the photo that he took. Oh, no, maybe that's not the photo. Maybe that's just an old one. The Krasnoglinsky, is that how you say it? Хорошо, we'll just say хорошо. I'm good. Court in Samara found Matrosov guilty of encouraging dirtbag to commit suicide, resulting in an 18-month sentence in a strict regime prison colony. Had Matrosov been convicted of murder, the former rocket engineer, plant worker, could have, rocket engineer, working on rockets, plant worker. Maybe an engineer, maybe not. Anyway, could have faced up to 15 years in prison, reports the Mirror US. The local community in Samara region rallied behind Matrosov after he was linked to the death of convicted child molester dirtbag, drawing international attention to the case. Residents in Prebrezhnoye generously donated money to cover Matrosov's initial legal expenses. He brought his friend to the forest and offered him a choice, and the coward took it. Right. That's a good news story in terms of terrible what happened to the daughter, but good news in terms of that twat is no longer living or breathing and not a strain on taxpayers. A petition collecting 2,500 signatures emerged demanding Matrosov's acquittal, with locals expressing gratitude for saving our children by ridding us of this child sex attacker. Prominent TV personality and former Russian presidential candidate Ksenia Sobchak publicly stated all parents are standing up for the pedophile's killer. And that's it. Good news. That's a good news, that one. I say anyway. That bloody twat. Oh. Where are we? I'm going to watch this one too. I'm playing this one. I'm sharing the screen. Joe Rogan. Clip. Anyway. It's probably going to miss the audio start, but.
Or that.
I mean, we're getting closer.
And just the arresting people. When you arrest 12,000 people for social media posts, you don't just arrest people for social media posts. You change people's ability to post about things because of fear. So they self-censor. So you don't even you're hitting them with like this one guy who complained about. There's a famous video where this fucking idiot in a wig. He's one of them judges, and they wear the wigs, the white powdered wigs, and he's sentencing this guy for 20 months for social media posts.
It's crazy, eh? Sentenced for 20 months for a social media post. Now, I don't know how old this video is. Has it got it on there? I didn't have a look. So Joe Rogan says someone's trying to destroy England and they're getting away with it. Broad daylight. The mass immigration is not an accident. Do you agree with Joe? That
are normal. Like normal complaints about mass immigration of illegals from other countries that aren't assimilating and that they believe are ruining their society, which there's a real argument for. And that's what online discourse is supposed to be about. Like having conversations, like I'm voicing my concern for the way society is running right now because of what's happening, and no one's doing anything about it, and no one's protecting anybody. It's nuts, man.
Any time in human history that would be called an invasion.
Yeah. It's like someone's trying to destroy England. It's literally like they've got a concerted effort to destroy England, and they're getting away with it.
Yeah. And what happened?
And it feels like, I think when I watched this, it feels like just a matter of time, eh? Like before it just spreads, Ceuta, UK, Australia, New Zealand. It's definitely not happening in Poland. For whatever reason. Look at this medal for civic service for that guy. Which one was that one? I can't remember now. Rubber Kiwi. Lucky I'm not English. I'd be doing life for my Facebook feed. Yeah, crack up. I'd like to think what would happen with mine in Australia and stuff at the moment. Australia's been having some of its own issues or conversations in and around free speech. Hurty words being used. Labor government doesn't like it. You get some people come around and knock on your door. Was that all?
Happens over there.
It's really crazy. It's really crazy to watch, because the mass immigration's not an accident. It's on. If I was going to destroy a country, I would do it exactly the way they're doing it. I'd take away their freedom, take away their ability to protest, take away their guns, which they did in the 90s.
He raises, when I saw this, that's why I wanted to play it. So he raises some good points. Say, just slowly pull things back. New South Wales have got that gun buyback scheme, which has been forced upon law-abiding, license holding, not had any incidents, gun holding citizens in Australia and the New South Wales area. Something like over 250,000. What's that? Oh, that's our neighbour's car. Just a little beep, beep, beep. Nuts. I was just thinking, like, I've never owned my own personal guns at home. Not in Australia, not back here. Never. I've spoken about that before. I've never had an interest in looking and going buying my own weapons and then just having them stored at home. Still don't. Excuse me. But I'm definitely got no issue with those that are law-abiding, on the register, got their weapons, doing all the right things, having their weapons. I don't agree with them having to hand in their weapons just because the government says, because of and in light of the Bondi terror attacks by the stupid Lincoln father and son dynamic duo. How does punishing all of these other people who have been law-abiding, no incidents with their weapons, how does that solve and prevent the illegal weapons or the acquiring of weapons through legal means by criminals or people that are on your known watch list for your supposed head of your secret government security spy agency, and then they drop off the list, and then your police authorities issue them with firearms licenses when they were on the watch out list, don't issue these people licenses, then you go and give the dad firearms licenses. Like, the retards that failed in their duty is where are the ones that should be getting losing their job and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Not go, oh, well, we can fix this by, we'll take all the weapons off the good people and that will solve the problem. It's not going to solve anything. It's crazy. If I was a firearms owner, I'd expect those law-abiding people with their weapons, they I don't know, stick together, man, and just go, no, we're not handing in our weapons. If they all stuck together and held up, like, I'll tell you what, I reckon that would be trucking hard and a big call for the government and even for their own people, their own local law enforcement, to then start to want to go around and collect weapons off people that have never been on any red flag watch list or anything like that, to taking away their weapons because the government secret spy organization ASIO failed, federal police failed, the government failed in implementing Blinken, kicking them out of the country in the first place. They knew about these people traveling to places of interest where known terrorist training camps would take place. They knew that the son was associating with a known terrorist organization and members within there. And they allowed it to happen in terms of the firearms licensing. The dad applied for the license and they gave him one. Far out. Well, didn't they pull the piss out of that, eh? It's just, what Joe Rogan's describing, pull back the ability to speak out. So that quietens the people, or I think he mentioned here, they self-censor, remove their weapons. Imagine people trying to go to those same houses, law-abiding citizens' houses that are armed, and then they F around and they find out. I mean, that would be a good result as far as I'm concerned, in terms of no longer having those twats roaming around trying to break into people's homes, murder, destroy, rape people that might be in those homes if they get in there. But anyway, sorry, I digress. Let's get back to here. Joe Rogan talking about this is what he would do.
And then you start tightening that noose, tighter and tighter, add more restrictions, more this, more that.
I mean, we're getting closer.
And just the arresting people. When you arrest 12,000 people for so,
and I think we heard it from there. So yeah, it's mad, man. I don't know what people think what other people's thoughts are on that, but it doesn't look or sound good to me from my perspective anyway, when I'm listening to that and then seeing what's potentially about to, or I suppose what's been legislated to happen, that buyback scheme, and they've got a list, right, of the people on their firearms licensing to go, yep, you and you, these weapons that you've got, need to hand them in. They're getting a set price from what I understand. $1,000, I think, maximum is the price that they'll be getting, depending, for their weapons. It's crazy. Yeah, anyway. What's this? Rubber Q. I'd be in the cell next to you. Prison break. Get your tattoos done first. Get all your, the tattoos done for the prison break. Talk. We learnt about Nazi Germany back in school. That is literally modern day Gestapo, bro. Yeah, I mean that. What was it? There was a movie out. I think we did it in English. It was a movie and book. The Wave, I think it was called. I don't know that it was. I think they were studying about that, and then The Wave. I want to say it was done in an American high school or something like that. I'd have to do a Google search and have a look at that. That's blinking. Just a couple of years ago now, that one. Let's close that. Oh, there we go. The gun buyback scheme. Yeah, actually, let's do this. No doubt it's mainstream media spreading the news on this one. Share. There it is. And play.
More than 250,000 guns will be surrendered and destroyed in Australia's largest gun buyback in 3 decades. A deal has today been struck between the state and federal governments in response to...
A deal. Even just that wording sounds bloody. A deal, because apparently the other states have said, truck off. We're not doing that. Like, we're not punishing and penalising those within our state that have illegally acquired firearms legitimately and have not had any issues or whatever. But New South Wales has, dare I say, bent the knee to this. They've struck a deal.
To the Bondi Beach terror attack, with weapons to be handed back before its first anniversary.
Again, knee-jerk reaction to an attack that could have, should have been prevented. Easy to say. I'm not typically somebody to say it could have been prevented. It's like saying all accidents are preventable. But it sounds and seems like there were, however long this Royal Commission is going to bloody take, it sounds like and seems like there were enough checkpoints to prevent the issuing of a firearms license to the father in the first place, just because of his association and having his son. His association with an known Islamic terrorist group, by the sounds of things, and his son being heavily involved with them, and both him and his son traveling to the Philippines, and a specific part of the Philippines, from what I recall, that was known for hosting and running terrorist training camps for extremists. So they could have prevented issuing that. It doesn't mean that that would stop them from getting weapons, right? They could have still somehow, they would have likely still somehow found a way to get their hands on illegal weapons in whatever means or ways that would have happened. But at least from an optic view, from the governance perspective, monitoring, it would look and sound a lot better than them just dropping the ball completely and going, they're on the list. Oh, we dropped the ball. We forgot about them. And Barbara decided to issue Blinken, the dad, a firearms license. And he was like, oh, cool, I've got one. I'm going to go buy me 5 or several other weapons that I can have at home, and then do some planning, which will tie in with the training that we're doing. We've scoped out where we're going to go and where we're going to do it and when we're going to do it. And this is how we're going to do it. And then we're going to rock up there on the day and we're going to execute it. Like it could have stopped that part potentially from the side in terms of, from the point of them being issued weapons legally. It's just nuts. How can you have all of those red flags for individuals and then they just fall off? They just fall off the radar. Yeah, crap. Anyway.
It's a day that changed Australia forever, December 14, 2025 at Bondi Beach. Now change is coming to gun owners in New South Wales.
We believe New South Wales will, as a result, have the toughest gun laws of any state in Australia.
Look at that little rodent weasel behind him, dumb and easy.
We believe New South Wales will, as a result, have the toughest gun laws of any state in Australia, some of the toughest gun laws of any place in the world.
What you should have is some of the bloody toughest laws around the blinking retards that you had doing the work and who dropped the ball. You should have some of the toughest laws around giving the ass to those clowns that failed in their responsibility and duty with regards to keeping those twats monitored, instead of, again, dropping the ball and letting them get what they got and then going out and doing what they did. Instead, they're punishing, it seems like, and I don't know the firearms owners over there in Australia and New South Wales area, but it seems like the good ones, the good guys, if I can use that term, are being punished for the failings of the system, the checks and balances, and dare I say, the employees that were in those positions to carry out their bloody job and do it properly when they did it bloody piss poor. Those idiots probably got promotions.
The national buyback is expected to cost hundreds of millions of dollars, jointly funded by the Commonwealth and New South Wales.
Fact is, there are more guns in Australia today.
Fact is, you are useless, mate. That's the fact.
Than there were at the time of dealing with the Port Arthur gun buyback that occurred under the Howard government.
There are 1.2 million guns in New South Wales. Around 274,000 will have to be handed back, with most owners limited to holding 4 firearms, 10 for primary producers and sporting shooters. But they won't always get market value, receiving up to a maximum $1,000 depending on the type of restricted firearm. Early next year, the scheme extends to higher value firearms capped at $10,000 per weapon. Affected eligible businesses and dealers will have access to grants of up to $25,000. The buyback scheme begins on November 2 and runs for 12 months to give firearm owners enough time to reduce their stockpiles to comply with the caps. The whole process coordinated by New South Wales Police. The Home Affairs Minister says 2 things were clear after the Bondi attack.
We needed to act on the motive and we needed to act on the method. The killers that day.
You needed to act on the motive and act on the method. Well, part of the motive is the blinking Islamist extremists that you're allowing into the country. You're letting the ISIS females that are referred to as ISIS brides back into your country. They've already been indoctrinated before they left Australia, you blinking ball bag, and went and married some dirtbag ISIS fighter. Then you send Australian soldiers over to go fight against those twats. And then you let ISIS supporters, wives, spouses of ISIS fighters, because their blinking boyfriends are dead, good riddance, you let them back into the country with their offspring. And the offspring, where they start indoctrinating them into hating the West and doing the things that they do from, I don't know what age, but from when they're trucking young anyway. So the motive you're not addressing. And then what was the other one? And the method. Fire out. They're missing the key part, like the system and the structure, those points in terms of who's issuing these weapons. I would assume that should come before, well, motive and the mechanism for being able to be, for receiving weapons should be done concurrently. Sack those twats, 2 background checks on those twats first, in terms of whoever allowed old Abu Blinken Ballbag to get his hands on a firearm or a firearms license, and then get more firearms for him and his son. Sack those clowns. And as for the method, like the weapons, nah, that's just seems like a stupid call. But anyway, New South Wales has made the call. The Premier, whatever it is, and he wants to tout about how their laws are the strictest in the country. Over 1 million weapons, more than 250,000 need to be handed back. No, man, it doesn't make sense to me.
Had anti-Semitic bigotry in their minds and guns in their hands.
The Premier admits that
thanks to the useless twats at ASIO and Federal Police and Lincoln, New South Wales Police, General Police, not all of them, but whoever the twats are that failed in those responsibilities.
there will be opposition and that it will play out at the state election in March, and that opposition was swift.
We're actually crucifying those legal gun owners here. It wasn't the guns, it was the people behind the guns that are responsible for the Bondi massacre.
Not one law-abiding firearm owner in this country is walking around Australian streets with their guns. The only people walking the streets with guns are criminals.
The opposition leader supported gun law reform.
Good comments. The government is far out. That sucks. And I'm not even a gun owner.
But says this buyback doesn't address the real enemy.
It is not law-abiding farmers. It is not law-abiding sporting shooters. It is terrorism and it is hate.
Western Australia already removed.
And it's thanks to the Labor government and whatever other governments prior to that are allowing them to continue to come into the country. There's been no, as far as I'm aware, there's been no slow on the flow of immigration going into Australia on the back of the Bondi terror attacks. As far as I'm aware, immigration is just carried on as per usual. You would think that, and not all immigration is bad. You don't have to stop all immigration in that sense, but you'd like to think that maybe we could put a pause on immigration from certain countries, Islamic countries, for now, till we can get our vetting sources sorted, because we've got ministers that can't even answer properly or with any sort of knowledge if this cohort that they say are not ISIS fighters and this cohort that are ISIS fighters, can you confirm that those that you've categorized as not being fighters of the ISIS or a Muslim terrorist group, can you confirm that that is the case? And if so, how has that been confirmed? And then you get, I don't know. It's nuts, man. This is crazy.
Moved more than 80,000 guns in its own buyback over 2 years, but New South Wales is now going it alone. No other state or territory has signed up to this national scheme.
Good on them. Good on those other states. I just hope they hold their ground, and whoever's pulling the strings from behind the scenes don't get their way, that those states don't end up like this twat and change their mind.
And we are doing this deliberately to get guns out of circulation in our community, to ensure that we don't have another terrorism event, or do everything we possibly can to ensure we don't have another terrorism event.
If you're genuinely doing that because you want to get all the guns off the street so you don't have another terrorism attack, then just make all weapons illegal, mate. Just make all of them illegal. Government, take everybody's weapons so nobody's got them. No sports shooters, no farmers can't have them. No hunting. That isn't the Blinken plan. It's a stupid knee-jerk reaction, which I'm glad that at least the other states for now are holding their ground. Just another reason to not vote for Labor and all this twat. Far out. That's ridiculous. Anyway, that's frustrating and annoying watching that. So I'm going to stop sharing that because that's trucking rubbish. And like I said, I don't even have a bloody weapon. I've never owned a personal firearm or personal firearms in my household. Oh, sorry, chat. Not a single one. New Zealand recorded approximately ethically. I couldn't sell my guns back to the government. They're not fit and proper people to own firearms. We learnt about, I read that. Dan, New Zealand has recorded approximately 9 mass shootings in its modern history. The USA have over 800 per year. 8 and 13 mass shootings per week. Wow, that's huge. That's a massive amount of mass shootings per week, bro. 8 and 13. Holy heck. Where'd you get that info from, bro? Is that like a quick Google search or something? Rubber Kiwi. And not a single one was owned by a criminal, because for some reason rules don't matter if you don't follow them. It's bloody crazy. Buying them back, they never owned them in the first place. Yeah. Great point. I would doubt those stats about American mass shootings. Yeah, I was just, that instantly made me question that too, Dan. That's why I was asking. So yeah, I'll leave Sig to there. But yeah, maybe I'll hear from Dan a bit further down where you got the info from. Good evening, Billy from Queensland. I found an interesting article and video. Check out Lieutenant Lily Mae Fisher, Royal Marine Commando, died on June 3rd, 2026 alongside 2 other members in a heli crash. Righto. Thank you for that. Sixbear, there are an estimate 2 million life-saving defensive firearms use cases in America every year on average. That sounds like, I could imagine that being true. an estimate 2 million life-saving defensive firearms. I've seen some of those snippets where firearm guys have gone into a church with a weapon, and a concealed carry off-duty police officer has drawn his pistol, sends the footage, and Blinken dropped the guy before he's gone in and then started probably going to blast whoever he could in that church or in that service. That's just one example, but yeah, no doubt there's likely a whole bunch more. We've got 2 million life-saving defensive firearms use cases in America every year on average. I have to say, if I was living in America, I would probably be a firearms carrier holder. I would probably be a concealed carry. I would probably look to get a concealed carry license as well. And I would be spending time shooting if I lived in America. Some people might say, oh, you should have one anyway here. But yeah, our laws and stuff are different. I wouldn't want to be strutting around with a weapon and then police come along and then end up getting arrested for that. But if we had similar laws to the US here, that's probably the time where I would personally look to get a firearms license and go through whatever processes and checks and balances need to happen. No guarantee I'd get one. Toughest laws criminals will still ignore. Yeah, 100%, eh? Talking away, yip-yaring away as if that matters. It's all fluff and blink and confetti being thrown around to try to make it look and sound and feel good for people. But if people are smart enough, they'll see straight through that and go, yeah, that's not going to do anything. Bloody truck and load of rubbish. Billy, once again, punishing law-abiding gun owners. Yep. I'd rather have dangerous freedom than live under a tyranny for the illusion of safety. Well said, Sig. Not act on the threat. Not act on the threat. Yeah. Crazy, eh? I guess when they're saying motive, I was assuming that they were that they may have been referring to in the, what is it, the PC way, the political correct way, because they didn't want to come out and say Muslim extremist or terrorism, because they're bloody too trucking piss weak to use normal language that people understand, everyday language that people can identify and go, yeah, these are bloody terrorist retards, Muslim terrorist retards. Not all Muslims are like that. That's not what I'm saying, but these particular ones are, and they were working as part of a group and associating as part of a group that were known on ASIO's list, flagged as a terrorist organization. Why the truck would you have them flagged and allow them to stay in your country in the first place? It's just mind-blowing. Does not make sense. Deport them, get rid of them, and make sure they don't come back. Of course, I have to be careful what I say, because anything I might say could be interpreted as not being a fit and proper person. Well, me being on here, if we did have those weapon laws, if this was like America, then I probably wouldn't. They'll go, no, we've seen your YouTube channel, we're not giving you a firearms license. Like, damn it. Yeah, what's this? Motive. Hang on. Threat. Billy, we know what the motive was and who the offenders are. Politicians too scared to call out the people who hate Western values. Yep. Sig, Billy, that's for Billy. Give the New South Wales Police credit for stopping the shooters in 6 minutes, considering both officers who were there were shot in the initial attack. They were shot. Police officers got shot or shot at. Is that what you mean? Sorry, Billy. Nicholas Miles, how can you trust statistics based on only legally owned firearms? Yeah, that's a great point. If more decent people had them, Bondi may have been different. Yeah, imagine if there were concealed carry rulings for, citizens in and around Australia. Again, to Sig's comment, or was it Sig's comment? I'd rather live in, where is it? Oh, it might be too far up. But you know the one I was talking about, saying that he'd rather live in a dangerous or a higher threat environment or something like that. Anyway, the cops had guns and hid like cowards. Take their guns off them. Oh, how could you trust? If more decent people had them, Bondi may have been different. The cops had guns and hid like cowards. Take their guns off them. Oh, true. I haven't heard any of that. The only reactions I've done to that have been to that apparent ASIO spy, Marcus, or goes by the name of Marcus, when he's done a video. I haven't looked at anything else, haven't seen any of the investigation findings or results. Not fit and proper, Sig. That boat sailed long ago. all part of the UN scheme to ensure no firearms in private ownership by 2030, when only the government has firearms. You guarantee tyranny. The Tamihana, oh bloody hell, thing just shot up. Don't be a non-compliant, folks. That's the new threshold for punitive action towards you all, the while your rights and privileges as a citizen are being compromised. Yeah, I think a lot more than compromise. Disagree. The police didn't hide. Yeah, I was going to say I hadn't heard of that. 2 were shot. I was lucky to survive after taking a round to the face and losing an eye. Responding police had to identify where the shooters were and isolate them. And I can understand anybody, soldier, police officer, anybody taking cover to try to get a bead on what the truck is going on. Like, those sound like gunshots. Where are they coming from? It sounds like it's coming from there. Being cautious, like, I don't know. I haven't looked into that. I haven't seen any footage of that. I haven't seen or heard any interviews from any of the police that were on scene either, whether or not they're allowed to give a statement or do a television interview or whatever, based on their time at the Bondi trying to respond to the Bondi terror attack. Billy using a car for cover as the female. First onto the bridge, did as she moved forward, is not hiding. Oh yeah, cool. So I haven't had a good look at any of the footage, haven't seen anything, but yeah, taking cover, like, I'm taking cover. If I can, I'm looking to take cover first, assess the situation as quickly as I can, and then act and start moving. As I sit here from the comfort of my armchair. It's like, shut your mouth, babe, you weren't there. JJ Beachbird, Bondi lasted for 6 minutes and 22 seconds, far too long. Yeah, man, if anybody's been in, those that have been in gunfights, contact, and I haven't been in a massive amount, not saying that at all, but I've been in some, and the one, the main one that stands out, the one that I would consider the biggest contact that I've been involved in, that felt like a blinking lifetime. It felt like it was taking ages. In reality, it was probably only about, maybe less than 10 minutes, maybe a little bit over, but it felt like ages. It felt like, and I don't know why that is. Maybe that's all that, things slowing down or whatever, and perception, etc. But being able to see clearly, I could see that the lads were taking care of the business. We were out on the flank where we were, or we're rectifying things while still moving forward, while still putting down fire, etc., etc. Rounds are still coming back in at us. RPGs are still coming back in. You're seeing the bullets splash up in front of you, ding, ding, into the vehicle. It's yeah, it just felt like it went for a long time, but in reality, it was probably a short period of time. So I wasn't there on the ground in Bondi, but 6 minutes, 22 seconds. I don't know what it was like for those police officers on the ground, but maybe it felt like 6 hours to them. Maybe it felt like 60 minutes to them. I'm not sure. That is a long time, though. Like 5 minutes, 6 minutes in a gunfight, trying to make sure that you look out for yourself, your mates, those that it's your duty to protect, etc., etc. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. People that have been in, those that have been in contacts will be able to relate to that. And we got Billy here, shot in the face. Bloody hell, lost an eye over it. Holy heck. Yeah, there'd be people on here in this chat that have got experiences far more detailed and horrific and dangerous than stuff that I've been involved in. But yeah, that's an interesting comment. Far too long, but that's your opinion, and that's all good too. So that's why we're here. Oh bloody hell! Where's the comments gone? Disagree. Did that. 6 minutes far too long. Billy, that's for Sigsby. I can leave that. Sig, when seconds count, the police are just minutes away. JJ, yes, exactly. Nice one, Sig. JJ, if everyone had a gun, no one would act a fool. Imagine that, eh? Imagine how much more cautious people would be. If it was just like, okay, all of yous can carry a gun. I don't know if that's a good decision to make, but I'm just saying. Yeah, still, I think it's still good to have the processes, the mechanisms, the checks and balances, the structures to, do vetting and all that sort of stuff of everyone before a decision like that was made. This is my personal view. Dun 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 dun. That's for JJ. I'll leave that one so I can scroll down. Kiwi, just another reason for compulsory military training so the populace can learn to defend themselves. I hope you would be breaking the speed limit to get there. Yes, just a quick Google. It's averaged out 2024, 504 mass shootings. 2025, 408 mass shootings in the USA. They say it's safer if you're all armed. Wow. Interesting. Thanks for that, Dan. Thanks for sending that through. Yes, Google, that most reliable of sources. Use ChatGPT then. Use Gemini. I've seen firearms incidents where the only injury or death was the shooter described as a mass shooting. And those incidents were included in the mass shooting stats. Interesting. That's an interesting point. Mass shooting, or labeled as a mass shooting, and the only person that died was the person that was looking to do the mass shooting, didn't actually kill anyone, so I assume he was dropped and put down by authorities before he managed to mass shoot anyone. Interesting. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's happened. As a member of the Call of Duty community, I can confirm team deathmatch is 10 minutes long. Okay. JJ likes that one too. Yeah, that definitely put a big smile on my face. Kennesaw, Georgia became the first American town to require people to own a gun in the 1980s. Crime went down, apparently. Wow. Kennesaw, Georgia. Interesting. 6 to 7 minutes puts some perspective on the Intercontinental Hotel siege. Yeah. Look at that, eh? Jamie Pinnell and the boys. I don't know if that's how long it was. If that's how long it was, 6 to 7 minutes for the hotel. No, I don't think it would have been 6 to 7 minutes for the Intercontinental. Not from what I've heard Jamie talk about. Oh, maybe you're talking about the earlier comment. Sorry, bro. Playing catch up here. I think you must be. Yeah, you must be talking about the 6 to 7 minutes for the earlier comment. Puts into perspective the Intercontinental and how long that took. Floor by floor. Enemy in the stairwells and up on the roof, getting fired at for a time by their own Afghan forces who thought that they were the baddies up there and they had to take cover. I think that might be when Steve Askin, rest in peace, of that fellow got clipped, or his ear, a ricochet or something, I think. Yeah, puts it into perspective, eh? And some guys that have been in, that there, if it's 5 hours for that, I wouldn't be surprised. And then you've got, like the Battle of Tizak, and where RS was involved, Ben Robert Smith was involved in. You've got other battles that people have been involved in for several hours, double-digit hours, and then, dare I say, even longer. Days for going way back when, and probably even some of the modern warfare stuff today. Like there's heaps of stuff out there. Just look at what's happening in the Ukraine and stuff as well, between Ukraine and Russia. Yeah. Long old battle. Blinken conserving your ammunition, moving tactically, getting to positions where it gives you good cover as well as concealment as you can, and observation onto targets, etc. Trying to regulate their breathing. The marksmanship principles, they're not front of mind, but you've hopefully done enough repetition under strain, under various conditions and environments to be able to adapt to what you're now experiencing and facing in that moment. Yeah, there's lots, man, for the lads to be processing. JJ, well, I assume that's into the Tamihunas one. Yeah, I don't know if it was 5 hours either. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Intercontinental Hotel, they didn't know the lay of the building. They're trying to figure things out as they go. They're also mindful of the local Afghan national force that they've got with them. I think Jamie spoke about, he knew that they hadn't been equipped or trained to deal with the multi-level structure that they were going into for that type of work. So he made the decision as the team commander. His team took the lead, and then he positioned, he's having to coordinate, tactically pause and try to secure the team. do on the fly reorgs, I would assume, checking ammunition, making sure that everybody's all right. I think Steve Askin might have got fragged as well, while still probably early-ish once they got into the hotel, I imagine, and then still fighting through and up the stairs and on the roof, where then if you have a look at the link that I showed last time, ex-Kiwi NZSAS bro, I think his name is Tom on Instagram. He's got those images that you have to click on to see if you want to see them. Blinking legs everywhere, legs galore everywhere up on that rooftop. Yeah, anyway, where was I? What's our time? Holy heck, is there anybody actually who's on? Well, there's still 19 people on. Well, what I can see on mine, I can see 19 people. That's a lot of people for my lives. Thank yous for stopping by. Did that. Oh, this guy cracked me up. Basketball guy. For those blinking, what's the name? This isn't the guy Enes. Is it Enes Kanter? There's another NBA player, but this guy Royce White, who declared for the WNBA, is calling out all the hate she's receiving from the leftist mainstream media. To my black trans lesbians, BIPOC, trans and trans adjacent, don't let people rain on your parade. These mainstream media outlets and commentators are dead naming me or misgendering me. It's genocide. People on the left are spewing a lot of non-binary hate. Silence is violence. Where are all the advocates and allies? Who are they to tell me I'm not a black woman? I'm slaying. What's this? Queen stand up, clock it, pronouns, pay me. I think it's great. I think those, if they've declared and if they get accepted in too, I think they just back themselves into a wall, with all the bloody rubbish that's been spouted and touted out around there. Well, you got two professional NBA players, former. I don't know if they're former or whether they are still currently playing or not, but they used to play in the NBA, declaring for the WNBA, and his pronouns are pay and me. Royce White for president. This is crack up. Let her play. And there he is there. Check that out. Pay the man. Let him into the WNBA. Whichever franchise brings him in, I'm tipping that franchise is going to win the next WNBA championship. Okay. It's old Mr. Popular cool kid over here with the humble act. Come on now. What's that for? Sig Spear, one of the biggest mass killings in America, not involving government or mill forces, was the Bath School Massacre in 1927. 45 people killed, not one person shot. If people want to kill, they'll use any tool. It's a fair point. Sig Spear thumb. One of the biggest mass killings in America, not involving government or military, was the Bath School Massacre in 1927. 45 people killed, not one person shot. Holy heck. Bloody hell. JJ, hey, thank you very much, bro. Supporting a legend. Very kind, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that's a super chat, eh? Let my girl Ennis play. I reckon. Let the girls play, man. Let them in there. And these trucking retards want to talk about these things and want to bring them up and speak them into existence? Well, here you go. You got a couple of lads wanting to take over the WNBA. I say let them. Go there, win some championships, make lots of money, pay me as their pronouns. That's gold, that pronoun, pay me. Rubber Kiwi, 19 viewers, killing it, bro. Yeah. Oh, it's 17 now, but yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. I don't know if that just magically shot up to 19 when I looked at it earlier, but thank you very much. Again, thank you, JJ, for the super chat. I think that's a super chat. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you. Where are we? I'm still going because I've got plenty of energy. Well, I feel like I have anyway. It's not even 10 o'clock yet. It's not even 3 hours. This feels like I've been going for over 3 hours. It's like 2 hours, 24 minutes. That's mad. But probably, dare I say, probably just fairly standard now that I'd yap away for this long. So with the right 19 people, we could take over a city. Yeah, I'm with you, Sig. I'm with you, bros. We got Call of Duty. Was it Call of Duty? Yeah, Talk. As a member of the Call of Duty community, I can confirm. Yep, we got Talk. There's another one on there. Billy, Rubber Kiwi. A bunch of people on here. Where am I? Sorry. Oh, yes. Jonah Hill. How can we forget about Jonah Hill? People know who Jonah Hill is, eh? I've got to share this video. I actually received a video to do a reaction to this. I thought, I'll just do it on the live rather than do a separate video. Jonah Hill, Jiu-Jitsu man. Let's hit play.
Jiu-Jitsu, I love, except my body is begging me to not love it. 42 isn't. My wife is often like, "You're not going to become like a professional fighter. You know that, right? Like you're a comedian. Like."
But let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If we got into it,
I would fuck you up.
You'd fuck me up, right?
I would fuck all three of you up. Yeah.
Right?
And that's the best part. My favorite thing is people are like, "Oh, Jonah Hill, fucking fat guy from Superbad." And I'm like, I would fucking annihilate you, dude. I'm not kidding.
Every
dude.
fight
Try it. If you see me, try it, dude.
Every fight ends up on the ground. Very
Bring
quickly.
it. Who's got it?
I will, unless you are way bigger than me. I have like fucking fuck around and find out.
That's a crack up, especially that last part. I haven't seen the whole interview of it. I've just seen this part, especially the last part. But unless you're bigger than me, it's a nice little catch-all or excuse or that people use. It's like you're not better than me. It's just because you're bigger. Or, it's not that you're better than me. It's just because you've got a lot of strength. Or, a whole bunch of various comments and excuses that you come across on the mats and in different places. But I love the confidence, as my take. People have asked me, "Oh, what are your thoughts on it?" I've seen a few people like, Jocko Willink and that have done a reaction to this. I haven't watched his actually. There's been a few people in the jiu-jitsu community as well that are high level that have done reactions to it. As far as I'm aware, Jonah Hill currently at this stage is a white belt. So he's a beginner. He's fairly new. You do get some white belts that have been white belts for blinking several years. And I'll be honest, some of them probably should be purple belts. Having rolled with some of those, what do they call them? Sandbaggers. For sandbaggers and can just stay in at the white belt level, but they're blinking. They're training all the time or every other day. They're doing secret sessions with other people from their home and that sort of thing, getting better and better, but never sticking around at a place long enough to then get promoted or get a stripe or get promoted and go up the ranks, etc. But I think Jonah is reasonably new to it. When I say new, I don't know how long he's been doing it for. I'm just making an assumption there. But I love the confidence, man. Like, I will truck you up. If he got into it with anybody, he sort of let himself down there a little bit at the end for me when he says, "Unless you're bigger than me." Don't get me wrong. There's weight classes for a reason. Size does play an impact, but it's not everything. And there's been plenty of. You just need to go and have a look online. What's his name? Bradley. What's his face? And the other African American guy, the big fella, Larry Wheels. They've gone into the ring, done some boxing and sparring and wrestling, and been tuned up by little guys. So it can and does have an impact to a degree if you've been trained in it. If you haven't been trained in it, or in martial arts or wrestling or boxing or jiu-jitsu or all of those things, MMA, and you look to step on the mat or get into an altercation with somebody that has, especially if they're active and they've been doing it for a long period of time, it's always 50-50, I'd say. But just because you're bigger does not mean anything in the majority of situations. Okay, like if you're somebody probably like Brian Shaw or blinking the Mountain, and you're stepping into that sort of stuff, or other blinking big giants of men who've got a heck of a lot of strength, your best option is run. I'm going to run away unless I can crack them in the kneecap and crack them in the nuts and somehow get them down, or whack their throat and eyes, jam my fingers and stuff in the eyes or whatever. I'm not sticking around to find out. So there are limits and things to consider for sure. But Jonah in his early journey, I think he's in his early journey of jiu-jitsu. Those are some fighting words. I have no doubt when he's next on the mats, he's going to have guys, probably new guys. Maybe people will come up to him on the street. I don't know, just because they maybe they're retarded or whatever, or maybe they've seen him talk this way and they want to test themselves, because you always get those sort of people in gyms and clubs as well. Excuse me. But yeah, I love the confidence, love the fact that he's enjoying his jiu-jitsu journey. And yeah, what did he say? They can truck around and they'll find out. So probably won't be long. Well, I shouldn't say won't be long. I think obviously if he sticks at it, you got the Ashton Kutchers of the world, you got the Ted Bundys, Al Bundy, sorry, Ted Bundy, not Ted Bundy, not that bloody twat, Al Bundy, or AKA Al Bundy. I don't even know what his real name is, but people know he's been a jiu-jitsu black belt for a long time. Tom Hardy, Keanu Reeves, Lincoln Eck. Who are the other? Kelly Slater. I don't know what belts they all are. I know Al Bundy, from Married with Children, is a black belt and has been for quite some time. I want to say Ashton Kutcher is as well now. I think he was brown belt last time I saw him. Wouldn't be surprised if Kelly Slater is. I think Tom Hardy, I don't know what belt he is. I think last time I seen in a competition that he won, he was blue belt. So maybe he got promoted to purple belt by now. But yeah, like it's cool to see and to know that there are actors and stuff and people out there taking part in that sort of stuff for their own mental, physical health and well-being, whatever it is. And then Jonah here early in his journey, it seems, but if he likely sticks at it, he's probably going to be blanking black belt in no time. Like, I don't know how much time or how much training he's doing per week or how many sessions he tends during the week. But if he's got the time and the availability, and he doesn't look like the big fat guy that I've seen him on other movies anyway, looks like he's trimmed up. So, watch out, whoever decides to take him on. But yeah, that's my take on Jonah's comments. And there's probably a whole bunch of other context which we haven't seen in this little shorts clip either. But yeah, that's cool. Good on that follow-up. Oh, sorry, chat. Jonah Hill, June 19th. Dun, dun, dun. I like Jonah Hill. He stands on business. Hurricane is so true. You're not better. I only lost because you won. That's the All Blacks have never lost a game. They just ran out of time. I think I heard Temuera Morrison say that ages ago. It's always stuck with me. He might not have been the first one to say it, but I think I recall him. First time I heard it was when I heard him say it. If you'd lost, I'd have kicked you. If you'd lost, I'd have kicked your backside. JJ, hope there isn't no bulbs to secure though. All I knew back when I was a white belt and BJJ was I knew nothing. Yeah, I definitely wasn't kicking around. I definitely didn't have that confidence. Like, I will truck you up. I was too busy getting blank and choked and having joints of mine overextended and trying to fight through those, and then realizing, yeah, if I don't tap now, I'm going to blink and it's going to go twang. No bright ideas happening around here. Too much weights, not enough speed work. Why fight when a steel cap to the nuts solves most problems? Yeah, and or a steel cap to the shins. Like, and painful getting kicked anywhere around there, especially front on, especially if you've got the right footwear, unless you've got steel cap, blinking jandals or toes. Jonah Hill is a perfect example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. People who know a little about a subject overestimate their knowledge. People who know a lot underestimate their knowledge. Chat is so funny. Yes, so true. Yeah, but looks aren't everything. Hope he doesn't pick on a Toddster. Not with the lights off. All look the same in the dark, eh? You reckon? This is Jonah talks as if he is. Yeah, I'm gonna truck you up, man. Sig, I'm a black belt in BJJ. Okay, but did that black belt come with level 4 plates? Hey, Carlo Parks, thanks very much, bro. Appreciate the chat. Like, for me, everyone, like, appreciate you if you're taking time, if you're joined as a member. So shout out to Rubber Kiwi. Thank you for signing up as a channel member, bro. Much appreciated. Those that have sent, or even if you've just subscribed, that's awesome. Those that have gone the extra mile and put in a super chat, I assume that's what they are. Thank yous very much appreciated. Grateful for it. Yeah, don't feel like you have to do that when you come onto the chats. I'm sure you don't, based on some of the comments and the banter that I have with yous, and some of the other messages that I get from yous outside of these. But it is truly appreciated. So thank yous very much. What's this? Do Dale Morgan. I'm not sure if I'm saying. I'm just going to call you D Morgan because I'm reckon I'm just thinking stuffing up your first name or first part of your handle. D Morgan. There's entering footage of someone trying to break into a car. Unfortunately for them, that car belonged to MMA Sean Strickland. Funny. Really? That fella's a bit unhinged, man. He's hearty, bro. Like, no filter. Like, and says what's on his mind, and people can track around and find out with regards to Sean Strickland. That's hard case. Is that true, or is that just like a skit video, D Morgan? Is it a fake one? JJ, good night, bro. Hey, good night. Thank yous very much. Sig, everyone is pink on the inside. Bloody hell. Can get almost half a pie with that. $5. Well, there was another $5, so I can get a whole pie. Yeah, very grateful, guys. Who was the other one? JJ. It was from JJ and from Carlo Parks. What did I have? Actually, I should have checked if people are still on there. There is still people on there. Wow, thank yous. Anyway, like I said, I still got some more. Oh, have I still got that one up? I do. This is bloody hell. Islam Makhachev talking to Mighty Mouse. I got sent this today, so I'm going to bring that one up. This one's quite funny, just listening to them having a chat. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. This might be a bit past it too, so I might have to let it play through till it gets back to the start.
Talk to wife. What's happened, bro?
This is how my marriage works. This is how my marriage works,
Best
Islam.
fighter in the world, bro. You have to ask. You have to tell her, but not us.
Oh my god,
bro. You have to come to Dagestan for 2-3 years.
2 to 3 years? What about my children?
Bring them.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm scared. Like I'm scared. Are you gonna let me stay with you? Like,
bro, don't say I'm scared. This is the most safety country, bro. I was in Hebrew, bro. People robbed my car, bro. Took my everything, like baggage, everything. But in Russia, it's impossible.
You sure? Are you gonna back me up on that?
Of course, I'll take care of it. Don't worry, bro. Last question. When you come to Dagestan?
I gotta talk to the wife. We want to do a mighty journey out there.
Talk to wife. What's happened, bro?
This is how my marriage works. This is how my marriage works.
Best
Islam.
fighter in the world, bro. You have to ask. You have to tell her, but not us.
That's great. That's what I needed to get back. I wasn't sure how much more we needed to get to, but what a crack up conversation between these two fellas. These two blinking lethal weapons. A couple of fellas there. But that's a crack up, bro. You talk to wife. You are world champion. You have to tell her. Crack up. Man, the banter that they must have, or that they clearly had there, but that was a good one. So yeah, I wanted to pop one up as well. Crack up. Where are we? Oh, sorry, chat. Mighty Mouse, so underrated, man. He's wicked. You said my name right. Cheers. Oh, did I? Thank you. Now I can't remember what I said. Dudale Morgan. Bloody hell, now I'm trying to whisper it because I don't want you to hear it and hear me say it wrong. Sorry, D Morgan. Mighty Mouse is so underrated, 100%. Well, those that mistakenly underrate him, or underrate him, do so at their own risk. Ideally, sometimes the pink, bloody hell, that wasn't even for me. Mighty Mouse v Rod Ting. Yeah, that was crazy, eh? Woo. And so I liked that. What's the word for it? I liked how that fight was. It was the first round was stand up Muay Thai rules. Second round was MMA rules, and I think I don't know how many rounds it was scheduled for, but Mighty Mouse got the dub in the second round, the MMA round, with he put Rod Tang to sleep. Like, Rod Tang, to his credit, didn't tap. He's like, I'm not tapping, bro. I'm going out, lights out. But yeah, that was a cool fight. That's for Rubber Kiwi. Islam is funny. Yeah, they're all funny, eh? They crack it, man. They seem to have a good sense of humor. And I love how they tell everyone or ask everyone when you come to Dagestan. Khabib Nurmagomedov, arguably the GOAT in his division and that sort of thing. You got Islam. Yeah, they crack up. They seem crack up. Commander Nov, that's so good. The Dagestani are absolute hilarious. Yeah, they seem like it, eh? Commander Nov, cheers for chiming in, bro. Good to hear from you, Sig Spear. Oh, wait, Fallout, not fall off. Okay, that sounds more like a prolapse. Didn't say they were, but you didn't say they weren't either. That's you fellas blinking, having your chat. You bloody got me a couple of times there. I've been trying to go, yeah, I thought, when I came into this live, I thought, what if I see them atting somebody else, then I'll just skip past it. I've tried to do that, but have failed this evening. All the best, folks. Time for cooking dinner. Yeah, likewise to you too, Billy. All the best, man. Thank you for stopping by. Last one that I've got on here that I'll go through. There's a message that I got through. I've received a number of chats and messages, by the way, from peeps asking me about Hammerhead after the last live. But for me, I suppose I'll try and sum it up after this, but this one took the cake, this message. A lot of time put on this particular message. It's got, bro, what's the deal with this Hammerhead guy? I've gone and had a look at his comments. Actually, let me just move this over here because it's bloody, can't see the chat. So where are we? I've gone and had a look at his comments on some of your videos, and then they've got a laughing face. I didn't know where this was going as I was reading it. And it's got, this fella is out the gate, cuz he's got here. Is he bipolar or something? Sometimes he comments like a normal person. And most other times he seems like he's trucking high on drugs or something. This is when I started really cracking up as I was going through. He's got here, I watched some of the recent live streams you've done, and I saw where he joined the chat and just seemed to be babbling shit. Do you reckon he's one of the witnesses testifying against BRS, or a child of one of the witnesses against BRS? Either way, I think I've said, I think he's one of the witnesses, or I think I have said, or I think he's closely connected or a relative or something. I didn't think of child though. So is he one of the is he a child of one of the witnesses? Either way, he or she seems strangely, in capitals, invested in your channel, and the reactions you give on the based on the videos and requests you're sent and asked to react to. He's got a laughing face. Yeah, well, that's part of the channel, right? Like I receive requests. Some I don't. Some I just see stuff and I'm like, yeah, I want to react to that, so I do. But the vast majority, dare I say, all of the videos that I have reacted to in relation to Australian SF war crimes, and in particular SASR allegations of war crimes, and in particular, specifically to Ben Roberts-Smith allegations of war crimes, have all been suggestions, requests of me to react to them, going way back to when the Nick McKenzie 60 Minutes documentary, and I did that in 2 parts, and it got blocked after, I think maybe they both parts got blocked after a couple of weeks. I did put in a dispute, and it just got said, nah. So yeah, they do come, but I do request the stuff. But the war crime stuff, yeah, that's all been sent through, and I'm gonna do a reaction. But I think that works both ways. So people, I'm doing a reaction, giving my thoughts. People whacking their comments too. Some people I think are retards. Other people, not so much. Anyway, what's this? Where am I up to? Bloody hell! Strangely, I read that on the videos and request. Just I read that. He got here. He seems to have a particular interest in the BRS case. Strange again. You've got in capitals. If nothing else, it is trucking good entertainment, bro. Your responses are crack up, and then 5 hours later you get another dumb ARSE comment from the hammer. once his dial-up internet connection has rebooted in his head and he's finally able to submit some sort of BS response. Rebooted in his head and he's finally, I read that, and he's finally able to submit some sort of BS response. As for me, if I was as confident as what this guy is saying about BRS going to jail, and you counted and raised a bet I made. Oh yeah, and you counted and raised a bet I made with you, I'd be joining your live stream ASAP. Show my face, say exactly why I think BRS will lose, and then sit back and wait for that 5K to come to my accounts after the trial. And you've got, if I was right and you didn't pay me, I would be calling you out for as long as you are on YouTube. You've got laughing faces here. You would be my only purpose for going on YouTube, to come after you and make it known. And make it known. Oh, I think you just mean and make it known. And make it known to everyone everywhere that you didn't pay me. I don't think is I think what you're supposed to say there. You've got here, I don't think that would need to happen though, as I'm sure you would pay the bet you made. Anyway, great to see the channel continuing to grow bit by bit. Thank you for that. Joe for Optimus Prime Minister. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the time that you took to blink and type out that that, I don't know what you call it, statement, email, message. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, you put a smile on my face. I mean, at the end of the day, for me personally, with regard, oh bloody hell, sorry, chat. Hang on, let me just get to these. Kung Fu. Oh bloody hell. Enjoyed your feed. All the best for the time cooking. I read that. Enjoy your feed. Yeah, I reckon that's what I should have said. Enjoy your food, Billy. I should have asked you what you were cooking, actually. Cool. So we can gossip about Joe and how he used to be a hippie without him knowing. It's good to know. Years ago, I was training Kung Fu. Nicholas Miles. I work shift work, so one grading I did was with the junior class. It was embarrassing, horrible, letting a 12-year-old kick my butt. I've heard he's so deep in the closet. It's the rubber kiwi. Jokes, Joe. Yeah, all good, all good. Commander Knobs laughing here. Pretty sure he was born at Woodstock. You stop putting the at the end of the comment, because then I don't see it till the end of the comment. Bloody cheeky buggers. Show us the hippie here. It's in one of it's in one of the fade out videos at the end when I put that video at the end. Which one is it? I'll look to find it and I'll put that in the end of the thing. I don't think I can add it to this live. Oh, I probably could actually, if I played it in CapCut. No, that's to Rubber Kiwi. No, that's to Rubber Kiwi. Brown face. That's to Rubber Kiwi. Sent him a screenshot from an old vid earlier today. If he's a real man, he'll show us. You won't be able to see me properly in there. I'll bring that up after this. I'll finish off what I was talking about after this person took the time to send me this message. Just looking to see what the comments are on. Interesting factoid. The Fender company guitars amps trademarked the terms blackface and brownface. Really? Interesting. They're terms used by collectors for certain eras of Fender amps. Wow, I like blackface Fender amps. Commander Nov, I'm off too. Hope y'all have a great night, fellas. You too, Commander Nov. Jason Joe still has to read them. I bloody did too. Well, even the sass fall into peer pressure. Very cool. Depends on what the peer pressure is. That oh, you're talking about the picture, the photo, or you're talking about reading the comments? I seen a comment on a video, and it was someone Joe worked with, and he said there was a Kiwi fella with a big afro, and it was Joe. I have heard of some of the comments. I think Nick Caldwell has done an interview and said, yeah, there's a Kiwi guy. I don't know if he used my name in it, though. He may have. I'm not sure. What's this? That hair was that memorable. It used to be a lot thicker. It used to be a lot darker. Yeah, I had a big afro when we ran onto the field for the what was called the SF Rugby World Cup in 2003, when we had Tutu and SBS come over to Australia. That was awesome. That was good. Made even better because we won that year, which was even better. But yeah, I had a blinking big gollywog on the top of my head, and it was mostly black. There was very few grey hairs in there, or white hairs on the top of my melon at that time. I was just bring back Joe's afro. Even Willie Apiata told him to get a haircut, and he's the nicest guy ever born. I should have deleted or edited that part out, eh? Yeah, no, crack up. That was good with those guys there. Yeah, but anyway, my thoughts on the person that sent through this message on Hammerhead. I mean, yeah. Well, clearly he likes my channel, I think. I think he does. There's been some other comments on there recently, which just, there was nothing about RS. I was shocked. Which video did he comment on? I think he might have commented on one of the political videos, or maybe the police shooting video, or maybe it was the Yusuf one. Hassan, or was it Mossab Hassan Yusuf? It might have been the latest one. And I was like, holy heck, this fella didn't say anything about RS. Anyway, I just put a laughing face because like, the guy is still here on the channel, and I don't mind it. It's good. He can come, anybody can come and put down their comments. I'm actually, based on some of the stuff that I've seen on Facebook when I've been sent certain links and I click on it and have a look, like the one with regards to Senator David Shoebridge. There wasn't a lot of comments in there, but there were two people in there that back Senator Shoebridge for what he was saying about RS being removed out of the Hall of Valor for his VC that he was awarded for the Battle of Tizak. And those two people said, great to see somebody with some courage standing up for it. And the other one, just underneath that comment, just put 100, the red 100 that you get. But there was only those two comments at the time. Maybe there's more now, I don't know. But I thought, oh wow, that's surprising. Sorry, not surprising. What was surprising is that there was only two comments in there, seemingly to be in support of the Senator David Shoebridge. So I would have thought that if that's the sentiment of a senator whose part of his portfolio is to look after or to oversee the Attorney General, law, and all that sort of stuff, the things that I read out, I can't remember them off the top of my head. I would have thought that if a senator has been skewed and already has made up his mind, then it's probably fair to say, maybe fair and reasonable to say, that the chances of a potential fair trial may be difficult. Let's put it that way. If somebody who I assume has a strong education or a good education in terms of the Senator Shoebridge person, who I don't know, then I just, I'm amazed in terms of, and that's why I did that video. That's why I typed it out. I had to look down at the screen and read my notes because there was no way I was going to remember all of that off the top of my head. And I wanted to try and stay as direct and as focused on the questions that I had from, genuine questions that I had from, as I could. And so, Do I think he'll respond? I don't know. I'll probably just send the same email every few days, because we'll see what happens. It did say in the automatic reply that I received, if my inquiries fell outside of his areas of responsibility or fell outside of his portfolio, then they would read it, but they wouldn't respond. But because, well, the things that I've raised, they appear to sit within his remit. I asked questions about legal process and civil trial versus a criminal trial, and his thoughts in and around that. That sits within, from what I could tell, sits within his portfolio. And then he's also got a responsibility for the Australian Defence Force and veterans. So that also sits, like, the questions I felt fit within his portfolio. If they didn't, if it was just a senator talking about it, and then I go to send comms, and then I see, oh, it actually doesn't sit within his portfolio, I probably wouldn't have sent him the message or the email. But I thought I'd back it up with a video just so that he could get an understanding or hear the tone, I suppose, I think is what I mentioned. The tone, if he's concerned or maybe not concerned, if he's wondering what the tone and the delivery is like or the intention, then I like to think that at least seeing somebody on the video, seeing them speak, and hearing the tone and the delivery, then that would give him an idea of where I'm coming from. So whether or not he responds, I have no idea. I'm not expecting a sit-down interview with him. I think I just whack that in one of my comments if that's what he would prefer. If all he does is reply via email, that's fine. That's all good. But yeah, will he reply? I don't know. He'll probably go, "You're not living here in Australia anyway. Why should I reply to you?" Try and play the oh, but I'm a Australian Defence Force veteran. Does that help my case? Probably wouldn't, but yeah, so we'll see. And then as far as what's her name, Hammerhead, I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, tried to stack as many odds as it could, right, in his favor. The last live that was done on Saturday just gone. He asked, well, there's a few things that I suppose I was like, okay, that's the type of person this fella is. You know, he spoke about, do you take super chats? So he lied, basically. Do you take super chats? I said, yes. He said, do you take super chats? I'll send you some dough. I was like, yeah, I do. I take super chats. Go and send it through. Then he said, no, I'm not sending you any money, basically. So he lied. So there I'm thinking, okay, he's one of those guys. Doesn't want to keep his word. Wants to spout on a whole bunch of stuff like what this guy. Maybe he is high on drugs at the time when he's blinking messaging or whatever. I don't know. So he lied about that. Then he talks about what did he say? He wanted he said the money's in the, I think he said the money's in the mail, or he said it's in the mail. I was like, it's in the mail. You don't even have my address. And then he asked for the address. And I'd have to go back and look at the live, just going off the top of my head here. I said, well, you come on a live stream within the next couple of weeks. I'll verbally give you my address on the video. So it's recorded. Not only you'll have it, but everybody else will have it if they want it. Not that I think people are particularly interested or bothered with it. He declined that, said no way. I think he did talk about and said that it's an easy win for the prosecution. For RS, the big fella's going to end up in prison, and that he's going to take a deal. Interesting that this person has put here, what did you say? Something about if I was positive or something that he was going to go to jail. What did you say? You said something along those lines. I'm trying to find it now. Sorry. Dun, dun, dun. As for me, if I was as confident as what this guy is saying about BRS going to jail. So I think somebody said that in the chat. It might have been Sig, actually, saying something similar. Like if you're that confident that it's an open and shut case, and or by the sounds of things that it shouldn't even go to a criminal trial because of the defamation case that RS lost, then I don't know why you wouldn't jump on. Like, clearly you're attracted to this channel and wanting to chat about it. But anyway, he declined that, made a bet. said, I'll bet you $1,000 that he'll be convicted. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm not blinking a wealthy person by any means. I'm not blinking rich or anything like that, but I've got some money in the bank. I was like, okay, well, you seem pretty confident. I'll try to make this more enticing for you. I'll take that bet. I'll up it to $5,000. But the deal is, you come on a live stream before this trial within the next 2 weeks. Heck, I didn't say that then, but I'm thinking of it now. I would extend it to a month if you wanted a month to get yourself ready. And come on. And you only need to come on for 10 minutes. And then if you are right at the end of that trial, if the verdict goes your way, and if RS is found guilty, then you'll need to send me your details so that I can transfer the money that I would have lost. And then equally, if I'm right and RS is found not guilty because they can't prove beyond reasonable doubt, then you've got to send me the money. But again, based on the lie earlier, and then based on the reluctance to come on, even though he's clearly spending a lot of time on my channel and commenting on other videos, it seems now, maybe a little bit more frequently than what he was doing before. He doesn't seem that confident. He's either not that confident, or he just doesn't seem like he would hold up his end of the bargain. Like, pretty simple request. A lot of odds stacked in his favor. He can choose the day and time. He could. Oh, that's right. He wanted me to go through the defamation judge's notes or results of that. I was like, bro, that's 617 pages. Really got in the chat somewhere in another video that him and I had the chat on. When he sent me the link, I thanked him for it. Cool, thanks for that. I said, I'm probably not going to read this, just letting you know. And then he replied and saying, yeah, I didn't expect you to, but I said that I would send you the link, so that's what I'm doing. Cool, you sent a link, you turn up on a live stream and chat away behind a keyboard. That's all well and good. I accept your bet and increase it so that you have the opportunity to make another $4,000 on top of your $1,000 for this apparently easy win for the prosecution. It's just you only need to show up for 10 minutes if you don't want to stay on very long, and if you don't want to go through the whole 617 pages of the defamation judge's notes, you could take time to prepare and only go through the juicy bits of the judge's notes if you want to get your point across and share with us why it's a slam dunk case for the prosecution. But even with all of that, those things stacked in his favor, or in your favor, if you're here watching it, Hammerhead, maybe you are. You didn't even accept that. So yeah, I think I'm quite happy. I'll see your comments, no doubt, when you put comments on the videos, and I think the appropriate response is just a laughing face, really, because if I carry on, you're just going to repeat the same retarded rubbish. And so it's just leave you there. This is my plan. Leave you there. I'm going to continue doing my thing in my channel. Leave you there in the subscribers section. Who knows? Maybe you'll join and be a member. Subscriber section, commenting in there, and yeah, that's probably all that really needs to happen. To be fair, I've given you every opportunity to jump on here. Asked you to jump on, or asked you to come on. Yeah, for like 10 minutes if that's all you want to do. Show your mug. Let us know why that is. Explain yourself. But yeah, that's why I put you in the same category as the cowards that don't want to show their face, but in the same breath talk about truth and justice. Truth, justice, immunity, and anonymity, it seems like, for the cowards. And so yeah, I'm not surprised. Maybe that's why I said you're either one of those cowards, or you're a family member, a relative. I didn't think of a child, but maybe you are one of their children. Then that's potentially in the DNA, maybe, to not show up to things, or to stay in the background and say one thing and then not do it, or not follow through. Yeah, you showed up to 2 live streams in the comments, but when you tried to turn up the heat and you asked me questions and or you made a bet and I responded, you chose instead to take the cowardly route and go, yeah, nah. When you chose to ask me a question that you felt I couldn't answer, and when I answered it, you then said, so he did do it, so he is a coward. I was like, well, no, that's not the question that you asked, you dum-dum. You asked me, can you answer this, or was this effect? Can you answer this question? If RS did it, is he a coward then? If he did it. And then I answered your question and I said, if he did it, if the allegations are true, my response to you then is the same as it is now, is yes, that would be a cowardly act. RS would have been a coward in doing that in that situation. Do I think he's a coward overall? No, but that act is cowardly. Just like I responded to your question about the witnesses, these 4 witnesses against RS. They are cowards from the context of they said nothing then, they waited till years after the fact. That's what I'm calling them cowards for. Not cowards for deploying to Afghanistan, not cowards for going out on deployments whereby they've likely been involved in multiple contexts and blanking probably near-death experiences during their time there. That's not cowardly. The cowardly action that I've spoken about is in relation to them not being forthright, not accepting accountability for their parts, especially if 3 of those 5 allegations of murder, especially if 3 of those are done by 3 other individuals who have miraculously been given immunity. So it doesn't seem to be getting through to your head there, Hammerhead. Maybe the hammer is in the road, but I feel like it's been more than fair and reasonable to give you every opportunity to come on here and state your case, articulate for us with your law degree that you say you have, and the other part, you say you have an understanding of legal process. That's crazy to me, bro. Seriously? An understanding of legal process, but you just want to go straight to he's guilty, chuck him away for life on a civil trial defamation case, which was nothing to do with the allegations of war crimes, murder. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, and Sig brought it up in the chat. What did he say? So your evidence that you have a law degree is trust me, bro. So yeah, bro, you keep joining away on the channel, keep chatting away in the comments and putting down your comments of anything you want to put down, bro. Yeah, I just don't think I don't think you would honor your word if you can't even front up now, and if you couldn't tell the truth with regards to a simple thing like a super chat where I said, bro, you only needed to put 1 cent in if that's what you were going to do. And then it would have been like, oh, well, I kept my word, didn't I? But yeah, you can't be that confident. It doesn't seem like, and I wouldn't be either. Like, I'm not overly confident with regards to RS being acquitted of any of those crimes. I'm hopeful. I've always said that. I'm hopeful that he gets off. I'll be gutted if he doesn't. I'm definitely not overly confident about it. I am, again, not overly confident. I would be surprised, and I am yet to understand how a prosecution is going to prove beyond reasonable doubt, just on the basis of eyewitness testimony, when there is also eyewitness testimony for RS, which completely contradicts what the eyewitness testimonies of the prosecution have to say. So yeah, that's my take on that. But definitely, I'm not confident in it. I'd love to be. And if I was as confident as you, Hammerhead, I would be touting that and laying it out exactly why. But I am hopeful and definitely not confident. Confident enough, though, to sit in on a live with you and hear you out. Let you lead the conversation, let you get your point across without interrupting you, and let you have your say. But you don't want to turn up. So what can I say? I don't think I could expect you to honor a bet that you instigated, that I responded, but you don't want to, can't even pay a super chat thing that you said that you would do. Oh yeah, and I think you said you were joking about wanting my address or something. I can't remember why you said that. You say you want my address, I say I'll give it to you, come on a live, and then you say no, you're just joking. Again, I don't know if you could lie straight in bed You probably voting Labour. I think that was one of the comments that was put in the live chat to you as well. So yeah, that's my take on old Hammerhead. Do as you like. Do as you like, Hammerhead. Oh, bloody hell, chat. Holy heck. Uli Apiata. Oh, yeah. they got a good laugh from JJ as well. Hammerhead is starved of attention. Any attention, even negative attention, pleases him. Yeah, maybe, probably. But I think from my side, in the videos that I see now, if he does comment, because they do, well, actually, that's not true. Most of the comments come to the back end of my YouTube studio. And usually it's all the comments, it's like a new comment that hasn't been responded to. I don't typically see the comments. Like if somebody's put a comment on a video and then somebody's replied to that person, like say Sig Spear and Rubber Kiwi as an example, if you guys have replied to each other, I won't see that necessarily. I won't see the other replies. I'll just see the first comment that started that that thread, and then I'd have to go into the video and have a look and scroll down and then click into it to see if there's like a bazillion replies or whatever, and then go through and read them to know that if somebody else has replied. Hopefully that makes sense anyway. So yeah, new comments, new threads, I see those in the back end. They automatically go to my YouTube studio, and that's usually just where I reply to comments from. From time to time, I will see and go into the thread and then have some back and forth with people that have taken time there. But yeah, I think I'll just let that guy spend the however long it takes him to type out his messages and comments, and then just respond with a laughing face when a new one pops up on my thread anyway, or in the back end. It's quite a hard case. Yeah, it's definitely like this message here where he's got, he or she seems strangely in capitals invested in your channel. Yeah, I think I've spoken about that in the lives to old Hammerhead when he's been on, Hemorrhoid Head. Bring back the Afro, read that. Negative, read that. There's women, he can pay for that. How you doing? That's the DMC. All right, got to pull the pin for real this time. I thought you had said bye ages ago, Sig. Appreciate you, bro. Take care. JJ, see you to that fella. See you, bro. Have a good one. That's for Sig, the Tamihana. Stay off drugs team. I'd pay for that. Who can afford them? Maybe old mate. That's why you steal other people's belongings. Actually, he is a lawyer. Maybe he can afford them. Well, he said he's a lawyer. I did ask him. Maybe he is telling the truth. I did ask him, are you practicing and or have you ever practiced? And he did reply in the chat from memory, and his words to the effect of, I haven't, I'm not and I haven't, or I'm not / haven't. So that tells me he's gone to that effort, allegedly, to get a law degree, only to never practice or not be practicing and have never practiced. So thank goodness. Thank goodness for small mercies, I think. Can't afford the brain cells. Three I have are barely holding on. Crack up, Rubber Kiwi. Some laughing faces there. Bloody hemorrhoids always pissing people off. Well, I think he's definitely drawn the attention of a few people. There's been a couple of other comments I've seen in response to comments that Hammerhead has put down. It's just, yeah, crack up. I think he went off on some blinking tangent. He replied to somebody that asked me a question on a video, I think specifically to me, what did the Australian regiment or what did my squadron think when I went into the teams? And then he he put some blinking comments in there. I was just like, this guy's out the gate. I'll just leave him to it. Like, more comments, the better, I think, in the videos and the chats. And clearly, I can't say if it's been from since he's been in the chat. I think it's just been a combination of maybe some of the videos that I'm doing, or maybe the algorithm is just sending them out to more places now. I don't know. Nah, he's good for a bit of humor, not smart enough to be annoying. Yeah, and that's why I think just the laughing emojis is enough for my end. There's no need to engage with him any further from my point of view anyway. If by some miracle he comes out and goes, all right, Joe, I want to come on a live, then 100% I'm going to be sorting that out. I would definitely, okay, bro, send me your email. Here's my email. People can find my email, and like I've said anyway on the channel. Flick me through the email, bro. I'll get it sorted. Send me the dates, times, blank, and if you're in Perth, we'll do Perth time. You're 4 hours behind me. That's all good. And we'll get it in. I think one of the Nacre, N-A-C-R-E, I think. I can't remember what the rest of the handle was for that person. Said it made me laugh, and they said they'll take a day in lieu for that. Definitely a good laugh. Yeah, well, I would genuinely be interested to hear what it is that he's going to say, or to hear him speak. I think I already know what it is that he's going to say, and I think maybe that's probably why he doesn't want to come on, because he's shot his shot, so to speak, blowing his load, and like there isn't really anything else. Everything for him appears to hinge on the defamation trial, and I'll come over Bazenko. I like when he completely contradicts himself in the same sentence. That's some kind of skill. Yeah, I know. It's a hard case. Even the question that he asked. Nicholas Miles, every good guy needs his nemesis. Too bad yours is a peanut called him. But he has provided some laughs. Yeah, definitely. At least he will never pay you. Oh, I have no doubt of that. I think, and I don't think he would even. He said he would come on. Whether he's right or wrong. So if ARS is found not guilty or guilty, he reckons he would come on. I doubt that very much. He'll never pay you. He spent his money on his Temu University law degree. Rubber Kiwi, no understanding of evidence, just legal procedure. Oh, okay, bro. Just put the fires in the bag. Thanks. Oh, the fries in the bag. Jason C, maybe he did the law degree schooling and failed or dropped out. Possibly. He did say that he holds a law degree, that he's got the actual qualifications. So, but yeah, he said a lot of things. But yeah, that was, man, there's a whole bunch more stuff. Not for tonight. I've got a whole bunch more list of things I'll probably go through on Wednesday night. Be a bit more bits and pieces, bit of this, bit of that, like tonight. And whoever's here on Wednesday night is here. If you're not here, all good. Kate the pipe. His Weet-Bix law license was revoked. Probably eaten, may have been eaten. But appreciate you all, eh? Let me just give another shout out again to everybody that's been on here on this live, whether you've chimed in the chat or not, whether you're a channel member or not, whether you've and whether you're a subscriber or not. Hopefully you're a subscriber. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, yeah, give us a subscribe, you buggers. I haven't been back to have a look at the analytics. I've shared on other lives. Last time I looked at it, 52% of visitors to my channel are not subscribers. So I thought, wow, look at that. I could have heaps more subscribers, but all of that does help actually. So it helps. It's been helping the back end. It helps with the ad revenue stuff that I put on the channel. So yeah, I make no secret of that. I monetize the videos where I can, and yeah, whatever happens, happens. So appreciate you all. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the laughter as well. And thank you for the content. Like there's a bunch of yous, particularly a number of yous in this chat that send through a heck of a lot of stuff for me. Some of yous probably would have seen some of that tonight. But yeah, there's a truckload more of things, and some of those are longer, very much long form videos, which will take me a while. I reckon I've got enough content. I'm not saying don't send me anymore, like continue to send them through, because I have my own way, process and filter things through. Obviously those that have sent through paid requests, I look to sort of push those sooner rather than later, even though some of those that recently, like I mentioned, that have asked for paid requests have actually given me as much time as I like to get those done. So that's, yeah, really kind of them. So thank you very much for that. Where was I with that? Yeah, but I reckon honestly, I've probably got enough content for well over a year. Like if I was to post a video, and I probably will be, but posting or having a video go up every day for over a year, I could probably do 2 or 3 videos a day for every day for over a year. And I've got enough content right now. But yeah, the more the merrier. Like I said, the initial plan was a 10-year plan. See where I am in 10 years. I'm already at the stage of like, this is at least 20 years going to be carrying on. So if I have incremental little growth spurts like what's been happening recently, or like what's happened on my channel, then yeah, I'll take it. Who knows where I'll be down the track? Maybe I'll be able to get around to some of the members and the kind supporters and come to your homes and blink and hang out, or do a walk and talk with you fellas as I have bit more, I guess, resources to be able to fund that, for one, because I wouldn't be asking anybody that I'm going to go and see to pay for anything, but an opportunity to kick around and get around. Who knows? Maybe I have had a thought, actually. I should do a poll, but I'll ask those of you that might be here on this live chat still now. Here I was going to go, and here I am coming up with something else. I am interested in the homeless situation here in Porirua. And the thought entered my mind. Hasn't been a strong burning or anything like that, but it's just popped into my head now. The thought has entered my mind of going out on the street and obviously seeking their permission first, not filming anybody straight off the jump, because, you know, people probably wouldn't like that. But trying to get a lay of the land, so to speak, and ask some of those that are doing it tough out on the streets here in Porirua, just from a simple Porirua perspective, and ask how would they feel if I spent some time with them, spent a few nights out, stay on the street, day in the life, whatever that looks like, sounds like, feels like for them. Obviously, give them some kaya and stuff where I can, and during those times where I'm with them. So it's not just me coming there to film and not give them anything, but at the same time, just trying to get an understanding of what led to some of their situations and stories, because those are I reckon those would be some really, what's the word I'm thinking? Impactful stories. Thought-provoking, that's the word I'm looking for, or words. I reckon they may cause a number of people to just sort of stop and think. Probably wouldn't be the types of people to stop and think that would probably benefit more from that. Probably be the, you know, dare I say, the normal people that already have a heart and a mind for those that are doing it tough in those situations. But I would be really curious to get an understanding of what has led to some of the people in my local area being in the situation that they're in. Clearly, they're not criminals. Clearly, they're not doing illegal things, because if they were, then I presume they'd be in jail. They don't appear to be wanting to go to jail, because if they wanted to go to jail where they've got some, dare I say, safety, shelter, security, food, schedule, whatever, then I would imagine that they would look to do something to see themselves get, you know, incarcerated. So yeah, I am personally just somewhat fascinated with regards to how they've ended up in the situation that they're in. So that being said, be interested to know your thoughts. Is that something that you've thought about? Is that something that you're interested in? I might just do it anyway, regardless of whatever the poll number is. There's no harm, I think, in doing a bit of groundwork. Like I said, no camera, no nothing, just go there, get them some food, which we've been fortunate to do a number of times in our local area when we've had those opportunities, and or when we've had the means as well. And just test the water, see what they say. They might say, nah, truck off, mate. And fair enough too, fair enough. But yeah, more than just one night or one day or that sort of thing, probably, you know, spend a few days, maybe a week, and just get it that would still only be a fraction, a small taste of what it's like to walk in their shoes. I've not been in that situation. I've been very fortunate, very blessed. I've never been in the situation that some of our people find themselves in here in Aotearoa, and so much so just right in the backyard, so to speak, down the road. But I'm definitely curious and interested. And then I wonder what could be done. I've seen some homeless people with the mobile phone and sitting outside the pātaka, like looks like they've got a charger charging their device. So just really, again, that I've never stopped, like I've driven past and seen that. I haven't pulled up and stopped and gone, hey, and gotten into conversations with them. But that's what I'm talking about. That's where I'm coming from. Like, how does that work? Yeah. But anyway, that's my thought. You can comment if you like on that or not. That's, like I said, I'll probably just, if I feel like doing it, I'll just do it anyway. But that is something that interests me. Anyway, I think I should let you go now. Thank you very much for your time once again. And, oh, here we go. sorry. Teamwork makes the dream work. Have you thought about gaming reactions to war games like Arma Fort, Reforger Squad, Balam? I don't have no idea what those are. SA Soldier reaction to their tactics, teamwork, etc. Don't think I've seen anyone do that before. Would get views. The only person that I know of that has done something like that, like I'm not into that, but the only person that I well, don't know, but I have seen who I've seen somewhat do something like that has been Big Phil Campion, ex-22 SAS guy. I don't know how many of those videos that he's done, but I did see a thing pop up. Big Phil Campion reacts to Call of Duty Tactics, I think it was. Yeah, and I saw that and I thought, oh, I have been asked that before, JJ, but yeah, I'm not keen on video games. Like, yeah, maybe missing out on views, but I think again, part of the beauty for me in terms of me choosing to do social media and YouTube full time is doing things that I enjoy, and I don't think like the thought of it doesn't appeal to me. So I don't think sitting down watching the video game would appeal to me either. So yeah, right or wrong, that's where I'm at. Or just start playing it yourself. To start playing it yourself, yeah, I probably would. Actually, that would probably be funny for other people watching me try to play the game. Like I wouldn't even know where to start with the console. Good night, Joe. Love your work. Likewise, thanks for the laughs. Yeah, back at you. Honourable bro, very complex adjacency. Sounds like a worthy pursuit. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think so too. I just, worthy pursuit, Jace, from the perspective of, yeah, it might be helpful for people to go, holy crap, I didn't know. Like, that could be me, you know? Some of these people might have a story that might be fully something that I relate to and or may have been through and go, holy crap, the situation that you're in could be me right now, or could have been me. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Can take a toll on those who care enough to engage the mamai. Yeah, can take a toll for sure, bro. You're 100% right on that. So yeah, needing to be careful to protect oneself, protect our own energy and wairua and all that sort of thing. Gen X playing video games, unlikely, still on the 5.25-inch floppy. Still on the 5.25-inch floppy disk. Crack up. Yeah, that's funny. I would get destroyed on those games just looking at them. But I still remember how to remove the joystick on Street Fighter 1. I've probably forgotten the moves for Final Fight. And what's the other game I played? Dungeons and Dragons. Way back when in the arcade game, Huxley Road.